nothing's going to be equal, ever, especially when I got fighting, hunting, and family. Something's going to be more than one all the time, especially fighting is usually always up here. Family's in the second, and then hunting is next. Fighting and family became a point. I'm going to put my family up here before something major happened with my family. This can go. Like, I don't need fighting, but I need my family. Like I said, I won't trade moments for memories.
Welcome to the Mountain Tough Podcast, brought to you by Sig Sauer. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Mountain Tough Podcast. I am Dustin Diefendorfer, CEO of Mountain Tough, and we are so glad that you are here. We are so glad that you're diving into these episodes each and every week. It is our goal to bring you an inspiring guest every single episode that helps you add some tools to that mindset toolbox, to that mental fitness, so that you can live that abundant and always ready lifestyle. If you are a new or a loyal listener, and if you have a moment or two to leave us a ranking or review on the podcast store of your choice, those do mean the world to us here at Mountain Tough. We are big believers in iron sharpens iron, so we love seeing your feedback. We love seeing your recommendations, and those rankings and reviews do help these episodes get out to more people through the algorithm. The rankings allow these to get out to more folks to transform more lives. Also, as a Mountain Tough Podcast listener, if you haven't noticed already, you do have the opportunity to try Mountain Tough for 6 weeks for free. There's a special code for podcast listeners. That code is all caps, all one word, Mountain Pod, MTNPOD, and that gives you 6 weeks of free training on the Mountain Tough Plus app. The app is available on all app stores. And if you go to mountaintough.com, click Start Free Trial, and enter that code MOUNTAINPOD, you get 30 days for free plus the 14-day free trial. That's 6 weeks of free training using that code. That allows you to test and see all of our programs from minimal gear to full gear. Plus, it allows you to dive into all of our spiritual content, all of our mental toughness content, all of our nutritional content. It's a great way to get your journey started to jumpstart your life. Don't forget, that's mountaintough.com. Click Start Free Trial and then enter that code MOUNTAINPOD. Shifting over to today's guest, this episode was a long time coming. I was able to meet Corey Anderson 2 years ago at Sig Hunter Games in Evanston, Wyoming. As soon as I met him, I knew I wanted to get him in this room and have a podcast with him on the Mountain Tough Show. He's a very inspiring individual. But my favorite part of Corey, after chatting with him in Evanston, was his character, was his integrity. There is a lot of things he has done the right way to get to where he's at. He's a strong Christian. We're going to dive in that today, how his faith drives his life. If you're not familiar with Corey, he is a decorated MMA fighter. He's currently fighting with Bellator MMA. He did win the light heavyweight title last year with Bellator. Many of you have seen him on the UFC Ultimate Fighter. Additionally to his Christian background, to his MMA discipline, he's also a very, very avid and passionate outdoorsman, filming his own hunts, going on a lot of his own adventures, archery hunting specifically. He's a phenomenal human. I can't wait for you guys to hear this message. So stand by for my conversation with the Corey Anderson.
So I try to do archery for everything if I can.
Yeah.
I just prefer sticking bow.
Yeah.
It's more of a challenge.
Way more of a challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
I guess being like a martial artist, like you don't want anything easy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I do the rifle hunts, and when I shoot with the rifle, it's like I don't get the shakes. I'm excited. Oh, I got it down. Great shot. Blase. But it's not like the excitement walking up with the bow. It's like, because it's not going to be there when you shoot the bow. You got to go find the arrow and find the blood. Mm-hmm. And you got to put all the pieces together. Which way to go? Okay, it's a big pile of brush over there. There's water here. And I lost the blood, so I got to figure out where he went. It's like more of adrenaline. You're searching and you find him. It's so much more exhilarating. That's why when I shoot them with the gun, you see like they run off for a little bit and die, or shoot them and do like a flip right there. And it's like, yeah, we got one. All right, when the next one coming out?
The challenge of archery is pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to sneak into that distance and get something with a string and a stick, it's crazy.
Either if you're ground hunting, or even like I do a lot of tree stand hunting. Like I did my first black bear, it's like spot and stalk. I was with my bow. My dad ended up breaking my bow on Wednesday. I ended up shooting on Thursday with a gun at 30 yards at that. So, but even then, like I got up to 40 yards on one with the bow and just I froze up when it stood up and turned around at us. I froze up just at adrenaline.
Yeah,
it's like with a gun at 30 yards, I didn't even think about it. Just pow.
Yeah,
I didn't have to draw. I didn't have to think about the anchor. It's kind of like muscle memory at that point. You put the gun on his shoulder and you just look down at the sight, put the retinas on, and just blast. And that's for that bow. It's like everything got to be in perfect timing and precision. You can't draw too early because if they see you, it's over. So it's like you got to make sure your head is turned the right way, especially with a deer. With their eyes been on top of their head and they can see everything. It's like, oh, I'm in a good spot to draw. You draw and they take off. Like, what the? They just caught that little glimpse of you. That's for a rifle.
Yeah.
Just put it up and go. You know
yeah.
What I mean? So, but yeah, even tree stand, being as big as I am, especially, it's like, I don't care what kind of camera you got. They see my big black ass up there. So it's like, I have to be extremely stealthy. And I'm doing a saddle hunt now. A saddle setup now. So it's like, I'm trying not to sway too much. I'm right behind the tree. I'm hiding. Like, I got my eyes closed like they can't see me. He's like, hope they don't leave with my eyes closed. Open up and just slowly. I turn away. Now freeze halfway. Like, and he put his head back down and finish. It's just.
Oh, yeah, getting that bow drawn.
Yeah. Like, you know how many times I get busted? Just, like, I don't even be moving half the time. Like, I move my head and just, I feel like once my head moves, they notice everything. Like, they gone. As for, I've seen smaller guys. Like they be out there moving, turn around and grab their bow, pick the bind up, and the deer don't move. You got a 6'3", 240 guy in this little tree like this.
In a saddle.
On a tree this big, just covered the middle of my chest. I'm just standing out like branches. And the deer sees this, and it's over. I reach with my bow, it's a wrap. Nope.
Is most your deer hunting in Indiana?
So, like I was telling them in there, I try to go everywhere, man. Anywhere I can get over the counter. When whitetail season come around, I'm like, my wife pretty much single for that time. Like I come home still after every hunt.
Yeah.
But every morning she wakes up, I'm gone. And by the time she's putting the kids down, I'm coming back at night from a hunt. But I do Indiana. Last year I tagged out Indiana in 7 days. So I went from there. Then I went to Oklahoma twice. Killed 3 there. Kentucky twice. I didn't get one in Kentucky this year. I didn't hunt Wisconsin this year. Went to New Jersey. Like I hunt as many states as I can. Just load the truck up and just keep rolling. Like my wife said, I thought you were tagged out. Like I was tagged out in Indiana.
Yeah.
I still got tags in New Jersey. New Jersey got like unlimited tags, so you can get $3 and unlimited does in certain zones. So I'm going back to New Jersey. Like I thought you already got enough. Like never enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I just love deer hunting. I love being out there in the woods, nature, finding my peace. But at the same time, I still got to be able to get home as much as I can to be with the family and just separate the two, but balance the two out.
I think that's big to talk about because you are doing a good job of that and are unique in that you are pushing the limits of hunting, but you are prioritizing family first and rather than the opposite, which we were talking about this morning, where it can be an idol for so many men. And I know that we can always bump up against that idol and we can make mistakes, but just thinking about the family and how you can be there for the family is priority number one, with doing as much hunting as you can, with fighting all at the same time. I mean, you're bouncing around.
Yeah, I mean, so a big thing for me, like I said, my oldest is a boy. That's my man, my juniors, Corey Jr., CJ. That's my man. The biggest things I want to teach him in life is how to provide, how to hustle and grind, but the biggest thing is how to be a man. And with that, it's like, yes, I'm a provider. I'm going to be a provider all the time, all my life. I'll make sure you, your mom, your sister, y'all got a roof over your head, you got food on the table. I can fix anything. I can fix the car. I can build the house. I can put the roof on. I cut the grass, do everything myself. I hunt. I provide our meat. I can do all that. But at the same time, I got to teach you how to be a man and be there for your family. So that being said, Daddy's on the road for fight camp, Daddy's on the road hunting, and I'll FaceTime them in the morning or FaceTime at night, depending on time change. But if I'm not gonna be away, just like this, I came out last night, I'm gonna be here for this, I'm jumping back on the plane, get back with my son. All week we've been on art camp. I told him I'm gonna be gone for tomorrow. I'll be back Friday. We're gonna do art camp again. Like, that's a priority as a man, to be there for my son and my family, my wife when she needs the help. Like Bellator reached out, or PFL reached out and asked me to come to the fights in a couple of weeks. Now I was asking my wife, like, yo, it's gonna be the first week we get back to Jersey. Is everything gonna be cool with our schedule? I already tried to get them to move me up where I only got to be gone for a day or two instead of for 3 days. But anything you need me to do before I go when we get to New Jersey, so I can let them know if I can or can't go.
Yeah.
Like, that's priority. I got to make sure things are taken care of at home first before I can do everything else. Like, yes, I can be a provider, I can do all that, but what good is being a provider if I ain't much of a man for my family?
Yeah, at the
If I ain't there to help my wife when she needs it and she out here struggling, I know it's hard. We don't have family nearby. When we was 14 hours away, it was even harder. We're 5 hours away from family now. When we was in New Jersey, we had nobody. And like I told you, I found out the first time I tried to do back-to-back hunts at the fight camp, and she broke down after a kid came. Like, she never said no. She's never told me no, I can't do anything. But I realized the right thing as a man, as a father, would be to cancel my hunt and stay here and help my wife. And that's just, since then, I balanced the two. Nothing's going to be equal, ever, especially when I got fighting, hunting, and family. Something's going to be more than one all the time, especially fighting is usually always up here. Family's in the second, and then hunting is next. Like, my content slacks a lot because I'm not going to put my family and my career in front of that.
Yeah.
That's like a little side hustle. And I'm not going to put my family, but if fighting and family became important, I'm going to put my family up here before something major happened with my family. This can go. Like, I don't need fighting, but I need my family. Like I said, I won't trade moments for memories because I got memories with my family for the rest of my life. But the rest of the stuff is just short moments of a lifetime. They'll be here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
But those memories will last a lifetime.
Did you have that same kind of role model in your life growing up?
So my father was never a bad father, but he was a hustler. He was one. Like, he grew up the youngest of 9, or youngest boy of 9 kids. He had a younger sister, and they grew up poor. They didn't have anything. So one thing I can tell, look at my father, is he has that mindset where he's going to hustle and grind, where he's never going to be broke. But it's been times in our life where he was still around. It wasn't like he wasn't. My dad was never around. My dad was abusive. My dad was that. But he would put work in business instead of like family functions. But then there were times like he had spent so much time working and everything. If he wanted to go hunt, he would put a hunt in front of like a sporting event. And growing up, I remember one time a high school tournament, I wanted to be there. It was the first time I was gonna get to wrestle on varsity. And I wanted him to come to my match, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to hunt, boy. I ain't got to hunt this." And like, I remember breaking down tears over that. And I wonder if like maybe that's part of like in me. I remember how I felt when he didn't. He showed up towards the end of the match, but it's been times like he's missed family functions because of work. Like the job, he's the owner of a roofing company. It's got to get done. Like, I got to be there. He could put somebody in charge, but he felt he needed to be there to make sure it was done properly. And he put that importance over a lot of things. And I don't hold it against him because it helped me become the man I am, to realize the importance of getting jobs done right. But at the same time, to take that and mold myself into my own man. Like, I don't want to be that guy that's put work in front of everything. Like, there's a lot of times my son just want to nitpick and play with certain things. Like, son, I can't right now. Daddy got to do this. Daddy's working. But if it's not that important, like if something I have to get done, like one of my sponsors, like, "Oh, we need you to do this video," and I've been pushing it off. It's like, I got to get this done today, son. But if I got time, like, all right, let's go outside and play catch. Let's go ride the side by side around the neighborhood. Let's go to the prop. Let's go ride the tractor, do something, cut the grass. But there's a time and a place. But sometimes I tell them, "Give me like 20 minutes. Let me finish this," and I get out there and we play. I want to play blades. All right, give me a second. Come on, I'll help you. Or we go out in the yard. I want to go shoot my bow. All right, give me 1 second. Let me finish this. We go shoot your bow in a second. And we sit out there for an hour. And they're like, "All right, I don't want to shoot no more. I want to go do this." And we do that. Then after some time, "All right, Dad, I got to get back to doing some stuff, man. We'll do it again before you go to bed. Or we'll play catch in the house before you go to bed. We'll just play, teach you how to hit the ball, do different stuff in the room or in the house. Try to find those little bit of times to keep him involved where it don't seem like I'm putting work in front of everything, but at the same time, let him know, Daddy, we still got to do stuff because Daddy got to work. In order for us to have his life, Daddy got to get this stuff done, man. So give me 1 second. Give me like 5-10 minutes of silence, and we'll be out there and we'll get to going." So, like I said, try to find that balance like I told my wife, ain't nothing ever gonna be completely balanced, but as long as I keep
Striving.
them involved in my life, so they not feel like they're always on the back burner. Daddy doesn't spend time with us. Daddy's always hunting. Daddy's always doing content. Or like I'll put him in the episodes with me. You want to come out to the boat shop? Come on, let's go film something.
Just work with him, yeah.
Yeah. Like we went scouting the other day and I was talking and then he started talking, so I redid the video. Like I hit a scrape and he's like, what'd you see, man? Like, here's a scrape. And then we got the bean fields over here. There you go. So it's just find ways to involve him to make him feel like he's spending time with daddy still and having fun.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, how much we can get. I mean, it's always striving. You're never going to be perfect. You're always striving to be better in one area or the next. But me watching my daughters, it is so eye-opening how like real value is measured for them in time. And you can go down these different paths where you kind of forget that at times, and you can start thinking it's more about material possessions and making sure that they have nice things. And then you get these wake up moments where, like, for example, they don't need like a $5,000 mountain bike. They just need you at home to ride a bike with them. They don't care if it's like $100 Walmart bike. Especially at that age, it's like, it's the time and like being there with their dad that matters. It doesn't matter how fancy things are. It doesn't matter how nice things are. But just as a man, especially like in the world too, you can get caught up in the significance, fame, nicer stuff, more money, and you can take your eye off the ball so easy. Like staying anchored is like a constant daily battle.
Yeah, staying modest. That's what I think. So, like you said, you can get caught in the fame and the attention and all that. And I've always, even when fighting, like people always say, "Oh, you gotta market yourself better. You need to do this and get more attraction. You could be a star." Like I never cared about being a star. Like, I remember the first day I decided I was gonna fight. I was an RA in Lincoln College. I was coaching college wrestling, about to save money. I was an RA, so I lived on campus in the dorms. And I remember Matt Hughes' old coach had called me up and was like, "Yo, I feel like you can do really good in this fight and this and that." So Mark Fiore, he had called me and I went in the room and we're going to the bathroom and thinking like, "Are we gonna do this for real or we just gonna?" Because at the time I started, I just want to do it as a hobby. He's like, "Bro, I see you in the gym. You can do really well. You can make it to the UFC in 3 fights." Everybody kept saying, "You can make it to the UFC in 3 fights." And I'm going to the bathroom. I look at myself in the mirror like, "Yo, do I just want to keep doing this as a hobby and keep coaching college wrestling? Or do we want to do this and be like the best? If we're gonna do this and be the best. If I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it unless I'm gonna be the best." Like I said, I'm not gonna be the best. I turn around, turn the light off in the bathroom, just sat there with my hand on the sink with my eyes closed, just like standing in front of the mirror, just thinking to myself, what we gonna do? And literally, I remember opening my eyes in the dark and hit the light switch and just looked and just like, all right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna give it all we got. Everything stops now. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna be the best. Turn the light back on, like, all right, let's get to the gym. Time to get to work.
Dang.
And I remember doing it at that point. I never thought about, I'm gonna be a star. I want to make all this fame. I want to make all this money. I was like, I'm doing this to be the best, and that's it. I don't care about the money. I just want to say I can beat that next man in front of me and stick to being me. The hard-working Koreans. I don't want no fame. I don't want the clout. And to this day, I told you on the way over here, after fights, each time I do one spin, but I've never, if I buy something like material, it's because my tax guy calls me and says, "We got too much money in the bank. We got to do something." Like when I got my truck. "You need a new truck?" Like, "No, I got a truck." Like, let me rephrase this. You need a new truck. Go buy the most expensive truck you can, and we can write the whole thing off. Like, you got to just do it. We need it. So I went and got a truck. Next year, your wife need a new car? Like, no. Like, you know what I'm telling you. "Oh, Jenny, you want to get a car?" "No, I like my truck." Like, all right, well, go buy you a nice car. We need a new car to write off something. Like, you got too much money in the bank. So it's always, at the end of every year, there's like one material purchase just as a company write-off, like a vehicle or something. But for the most part, it's like after fights, I'm buying land.
Yeah.
And stuff for investment. After I won the bill, everybody like, "Oh, yeah, I'm sure you went and bought this and bought that." I hired a concrete guy to put a slab of concrete and went and got a hot tub. That's my celebrate. That's it. I don't need, you know what? That's
Modest.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to help me recover.
Yeah.
Every day I get home from the gym, I now have a sauna. This fight before, I got the sauna. Now, this fight, I got the hot tub, and I already had a cold plunge, Revive cold plunge, sent me one as a fighter to hook me up. So now I got the sauna, the hot tub, and the cold plunge. I do it every day.
Set.
Come home from training, I just sit. I go out there at night when I'm done with the kids.
Yeah.
The kids go to bed. It's dark. I got the lights outside. All right, Daddy, finna go do his recovery. Go sit in the sauna for a bit, jump in the hot tub, ice plunge, and go back and forth, hot tub and cold plunge. And I'll be out there for about 45 minutes to an hour, recover. And like I said, I don't care about the fans. I don't post my sparring. There's a lot of stuff I can post and say. I see things that happen in the fight world, and being like, another thing is being a believer and a Christian. I got to carry myself in the right way. So people look at me and say like, oh, I want to be like that guy. Not like, oh, that's a Christian. That's a real a-hole. I can't believe he's a Christian. So it's a lot of things that happen in the fight world and the media. And I'm a trash talker. Like my boys, cool. I can talk trash with the best of them, and it's funny.
Yeah.
And I see stuff that happen in the media all the time. I used to do it, but now I've kind of dialed back. Like I said, trying to be better Christ-like. And I look like, oh man, I could eat them. I touch my wife like, bro, it would be so funny if I said this. She's like, don't. Like, I know I'm not going to do it, but I can get so much. If I wanted to get some feeds and some clicks and some likes, I know people eat this up. But it's just carrying myself as the person I want people to see me as, and not what people think I want to be. I don't want to be a star. Yeah. I don't want the attention. I don't do fight media until fight week, and then I do it for a week after. But I do hunting media and podcasts like this year round. Yeah. Because I tell everybody I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a hunter. And those are three things I'll be for the rest of my life. But fighting is a window that's short-lived. So I separate that where I'm really calling myself a fighter, fight week. For the rest of that, I'm just a human, man. I'm just like you and me. But oh my God, you famous. Like, don't use that word. I hate that word. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. I'm only well known because you see me on TV. I'm just like you. Put my pants on the same way, bleed like you and everything else. Just so happened, I fought to a point where I got on TV. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be put on a pedestal. I don't wear fancy stuff. Like, these are barbell shorts, but that's because barbell sent it to me. This is my shirt from a Few Will Hunt. That's because they made it. I don't spend money on clothes. I don't spend money on jewelry. Everything I wear is either free or gave to me. Hand-me-downs. Yeah. Yeah. I don't care about material things. My house isn't that big, but I'm the richest man in the world. I got everything I need. Yeah. Got a beautiful family and all the things I can want in the life.
Yeah, it's like you're a father, a husband, and a child of God.
That's it. That's the most important. Child of God first. Yeah. Without him, I ain't got none of this. That's the greatest thing anybody can have. That's the greatest thing I have in life, because without that, I wouldn't have the things I have.
And I love that because, like, the Bible talks about sanctification. And I used to read that all the time and think more about being refined, like refined in the fire. But lately, it's like sanctification is being set apart. It's being distinct. And being distinct is what God wants, and it's what people see in you that they wonder, like, why is this guy so different? I should figure out what he's got that I don't. But additionally, being distinct is allowing you to pursue what God's design for you was. And that's what is allowing for greatness, because, like, you were uniquely built for this task, as long as you're listening and opening to following that path. Like, some pretty amazing things can happen, and then you become distinct, which is so awesome.
Go against the current. That's the thing, because everybody want to go. As like even the Bible say, broad is the way that leads to destruction, and narrow is the path to the door. For few there is that find it. Because everybody want to go what everybody else is doing. Everybody is doing this. Everybody is doing that. All want to go here. I was always I still am that person. Like, I'm not going that way. Because like I remember when I finally started speaking out, that's how my kind of like the Rocky Road with me and the UFC kind of came about, is because I was in the car with John Jones and he failed his drug test or whatever. And at the time, my wife was 30 weeks pregnant. I was going through all this stuff. And everybody kind of just brushed underneath the rug because it was John Jones. Nobody wanted to say something. But my wife was traveling with me, and they're trying to put me through this ringer for my wife. And, like, instead of just doing what everybody else was saying and doing, I did what's right and stood up for everybody. Like, yo, what? Like, no, I'm not going to do this. And I got all kinds of backlash because it was me versus UFC fighting against their star power guy, John Jones, like, in the media. But it's like, yes, I could sit there and agree and say it's okay, but it's not. And then it got to the point where throughout fight week, all the fighters was like messaging me, yo, bro, we agree, 100% agree, but I don't want to say anything and get in trouble. Like, don't call me then. Like, you don't got my number. They come to my hotel room like, yo, bro, can I talk to you? Like, nah, if you ain't got nothing to say, I want to hear. Like, I want to say this. Like, then say it to them. Don't say it to me. Like, I said my piece. I did the media thing for the fight week, and they kept calling. Like, I'm done. I said it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Like, what, you want me to keep beating a dead horse? And everybody kept calling me, bro, say more. Like, you say it. I was like, I don't want to get in trouble.
People are scared.
Well, yeah, I don't care. I don't want to fit in with the masses. Like, I don't care about being in crowd. I never wanted to hang out with the matchmakers. I never wanted to be around Conor McGregor and all them.
Yeah.
Everybody invite me out to the parties after the fight. I go back to the hotel with my girl or me and my best friend. We might go to the casino or go to a club and just sit there for a bit, and we go back to the room and hang out. Like, I've never cared to be in the eyes. Yeah, like, I'm a country boy. I still tell to this day, I'm still the little fat country boy from Rockland, Illinois. Yeah. The fat, lazy kid is who I still am inside. I don't care about attention. I don't care about the lights and all that. I do it because I'm good at it and I get paid. I love it. I love fighting. I love the competitive nature of it's just mano y mano. There's nobody else I can blame. That's why I didn't like football. It was a team sport, and I was one of the only black kids on my team. So if something went wrong and someone, because you messed up. No, I didn't mess up. That wasn't my hole. That was your hole. You let that go. No. Fighting ain't nobody else to depend on. Like, if I mess up, it's not the coach's fault. The coaches was there. They gave me the advice, but it was me to see what they told me to see. Yeah. And I missed it. I've never blamed the coach for a loss. I've never blamed the injury. It's always, I lost. That's it. He was a better man tonight. I get him next time. Or the next night might be my night. And that's why I love one-on-one competition, because you ain't got nobody to blame or to pay attention to but yourself.
It's black and white.
That's it. There's people say, I had a staph infection, or my coach is this, or my camp. If your camp was that bad, you shouldn't have took the fight. You should have pulled out. It's all on you at that point. And that's just how I always am. Like, as a man, I can't respect you as a man if you got an excuse every time something goes on. When you can own up and say, I made that mistake, I messed up, then yes, congratulations. The first step to manhood, you took ownership. And I keep building from there.
And you talked about that time you looked at yourself in the mirror and asked yourself if you wanted to do this. How many years later from that scene in the mirror was the belt?
So that was 2013, and the belt came in 2024. That's 11 years.
11 years. Hard work.
11 years hard work. And I had been there. Like I was telling you guys before, I had a title fight against Vadim Nemkov where I was winning. That was 2022. And it was like I had been there, then I lost the rematch at the end of 22, and it was just a long road, but it was like the consistent road. The goal never changed. The mindset never switched. It's just, that's who I was through and through. And it's just something I've always said since college. Like, it's hard to distract a man that has a game plan. Like, people get distracted and they lose their way of what they were searching for because they never really had a goal or a plan. It's kind of like wishful thinking. Like, I want to do this, but they never really prepared themselves for what it's going to go through.
No bullseye.
Exactly. For me, from that moment when I realized what I was going to do in 2013, I said, I'm going to do the best. Like, as many times, like, I've had losses where I could have walked away and I could have got deterred from the goal. Like, oh, I got knocked out again or I lost again. Let's just walk away. It's over. It's not going to happen. But it was so engraved in my mind, like, this is not what we got here for. We didn't get here to get to the top and never achieve it. We came here to get to the top, achieve it. Then after that, if we walked away after that, at least we can say we did it.
You did it.
We did exactly what we wanted to do. We got here, we became the best. But here we are still, I'm not satisfied. It's not over. Still things need to be done. So until that time I come, it's just like, I'm really not feeling it no more. then we walk away. But I stuck to the plan, and the plan just isn't over. It's like it's more to the story, and we just got to get that.
Yeah, and it's important for people to know that it took 11 years to get there, and it's still not done. But so many people can get in these short-term mindsets of instant, gratification that great things are going to happen in 4 months or 6 months or 9 months. But even like Bert Soren from Sorenex, he was at Tough Fest last year, which is Mountain Tough's big community event, and he gave a speech on that the 10-year rule that no one you see out doing excellent things is an overnight success, even though sometimes they may look like one. That like behind every phenomenal hunter or behind every successful business owner or behind certainly most athletes is decades and decades and decades of hard work. And certainly that's like what you proved.
I mean, that's, like I said, not just what I proved. Like you said, everybody, any successful person. They taught us in business schools. Like, I remember the professor asking, do you guys know why 409 is called 409? Like, no, I just looked the number. Like, it took him 409 times before he got the formula right. It's like, there's nothing is success the first time. It's like most of the brands out there, he said, most of those brands with the numbers in it is because that's how many times it took them to get it. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's never overnight. Like, yes, we're in a generation now where things can go viral and hit off big overnight, but those people don't last long. Mm-hmm. It's like they're viral for a moment. They're here today, gone tomorrow. They got a trend for a while, but once that trend is over, it's like all they remember for is that one viral moment. There's nothing else in their life that was consistent. It was that one thing that they was banking off of. And then what? As for, like I said, with my YouTube channel, like you got these guys that's going viral. They go from 10 followers to 100,000 because they putting like viral scripted things out there look good. But once all this is gone and they ask them like, oh, what else did they contribute to the world? Or when people are past that fact, what are they going to do now? They're going to find another scripted thing to do. As for like, if you go back and watch mine, I had to slow climb for 4 years to get where I am now. I'm still not even, I think I got like almost 7,000 subscribers on YouTube. But the thing is, I tell you, when you go back and look at mine from day one to the whatever episode I put up at that moment or to the end, you'll see through the whole thing, mine stayed true to myself. It stayed consistent. It stayed authentic. And it was always me. There was never anything scripted. Like all my hunts is as they happen. There was nothing added in. I barely do. If I mess up, I'll mess up and put what I said in wrong in the video and then correct myself. Like, because I feel like that's more relatable to the everyday hunter and everyday outdoorsman than the person that's just goes to the big guy that hunts, pays for the big guy that hunts. They stay in a beautiful lodge and they make it seem like they out there roughing. Then they kill the deer and all of a sudden they show us like 20 people around them. Ain't no way you killed that animal with a whole camera crew, your family, all those people. It doesn't happen that way if it wasn't like staged. But mine is, this is sincere and honest, and that's the way I feel. Even if it doesn't get the respect, I don't know. I never did it any other way but the hard way.
Hey guys, I just wanted to take a second and talk to you about nutrition and supplementation. There are a plethora of options when it comes to supplements that can be kind of overwhelming, so I wanted to let you guys know what I do take. So in the mornings, I am taking the Mountain Ops greens and the collagen right when I wake up, and that has been a game changer. I don't eat a lot of vegetables throughout the day, so adding those greens in the morning is quick and efficient, and I can really feel the collagen. In addition, I do enhance my workouts. My Mountain Tough training sessions are quite difficult, and so I do like to take the Enduro. It gives you a cardio enhancement that you can actually feel. And then I also like a little caffeine with my workout, so I'm taking the Mountain Ops Ignite. Lastly, it's really important that you are getting enough protein and recovering after these difficult sessions. What I do know is even following a strict whole foods diet, I'm not getting nearly enough protein on most days unless I take a supplement. So I do take the Mountain Ops protein after my workout, to make sure that I'm hitting about 1 gram per body weight for a functional athlete. So taking the Mountain Ops protein with some creatine after my workouts has been huge. Those are the products I am taking and that I recommend. The Mountain Ops team is giving Mountain Tough podcast show listeners an exclusive discount to their products. It is a great deal. So for a first-time purchase on mountainops.com, you do get 20% off. All you need to do is go to mountainops.com and then use the code MountainTough at checkout. That's MTNTOUGH, all caps, all one word. Apply that as your promo code at checkout, and you're going to get 20% off your first order. You've been listening to the Mountain Tough podcast. Where do you think you find strength to be so true to yourself? From like the angle of the number one regret on most people's deathbed, when people are researched in these large research studies, they'll interview thousands of people in hospice. Like the number one complaint, the number one answer to the regrets in life for people in hospice is that they didn't live a life true to themselves. So a lot of people can't find that strength to stay on that path.
So I got two things I can contribute to that, and it's both from my parents. One was my mother. I remember it was my freshman year in college, sophomore year in college, and I'm recruiting, getting ready to look and go other places because I was a junior in college at first. I remember coming in the room, and she was like, "I'm proud of you, but I don't want you to go far away, but I also don't want you to stay here." She's like, "I want you to become your own man." Mm-hmm. She's like, everybody else in the family, your youngest of four, everybody else was trying to follow what your dad did or follow what such and such did. I want you to be your own man. And I want you, if you get the opportunity, go as far as you can away from here. Get as far away as you can from everybody here that sticks to the norm and develop your own personality. Find your own wishes. Everything you want, do it all yourself. Erase everything you know from here and do it different. Mm-hmm. And the second thing was after I won the Ultimate Fighter, my father told me, he came to me, I remember this day after I won the Ultimate Fighter, I'm still on the high, and like I'm out helping my dad to shop. I won the Ultimate Fighter, I'm back helping my dad with his business roofing company, with loading trucks. And I don't know why, I know where he turned around and looked at me, he was like, "You think you something now?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" He think because you won that belt yesterday, you something. Like, just know this, the same people you pass on the way up, gonna be the same people you pass on the way down.
Dang.
Don't ever let that get in your head that you bigger than anybody. You still Corey Anderson, you still Anderson, you still come from here. So your whole life, no matter what you do in life, you always gonna be that Corey Anderson. You remember that. Don't ever start treating anybody different, doing anything different. Because it's gonna come back to haunt you when you start coming down. And that's to this day. That was 2014. That was July 9th, 2014, because I won the Ultimate Fighter on the 7th. And I never forget, or on the 6th. And I remember I flew to Arizona and came home, and I never forget that day. Was loading something on the crane when he stopped and looked at me, and I can still remember his head. My dad got these glasses, he got a toothpick, and I always got a phone on his neck at the time in the garage door. Old country bumpkin. I love that dude. But I remember him looking me in the eyes. Like, you think and I'll never forget the faces. You just remember, the same people you pass on the way up, it's gonna be the same people you pass on the way down. And that stuck him. And that, with two things, my mom and him. My mom told me what he said. It took me to a point where I didn't want to be like my brothers, and like everybody wanted to be famous. Everybody wanted to be this star. Everybody wanted to do what everybody else is doing. It was like, so I took what my mom said, I'm going to be my own man. I don't care I never really cared about attention. Mm-hmm. I was always that nervous, shy kid. I used to be a 300-pound kid at 17. I was a fat, sloppy kid. I was never this athletic guy. So for me, I never wanted people looking at me. So I was like, I'm going to stick to that same thing. I am who I am now, but I don't want the attention. I want to be the same guy. Everybody overlooked back then. Nobody paid me any attention. So don't pay me no attention now. And one thing my father's like, I've never changed up on anybody. Like one of my friends from high school, today's his birthday. I don't see him often, but I messaged him this morning, happy birthday, bro. You can ask anybody I know from high school, and they say, Corey is the same. I had a teacher call me from my 8th grade teacher. He called me a couple weeks ago. Like, I didn't know I had your number. And we talked for like an hour. It's like, I'm the same person. You talked to me. Nothing changed but my address and my bank account. I'm the same kid you could have talked to back in 1997, 98 from my dentist assistant who, when I was super nervous and shy, she played Coolio.
Yeah.
And to this day, if she hit me up on Instagram, whatever,
yeah,
and we started singing Gangsta's Paradise, and she called me on the phone, whatever, that was how we broke the ice. Like, ain't nothing ever changed for me. And that's what I have to attest to that. Those 2 things my parents told me, I took that to heart. It's like, I'm going to be my own man, and I'm never going to treat anybody different. I treat the janitor like I treat Donald Trump. It's like, you never know who you're going to meet. You know what I mean? Just like that Secret Bosses, the show.
Yeah.
When they got the guys that act like an undercover bosses, but it was actually the boss, and people was treating them like trash, and all of a sudden it backfire on them.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my mindset in life. You never know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Like, I could be sitting hanging out with this guy, he end up being like some CEO of a Fortune 500 company or something. But if I treat him like everybody else and treat him properly, when he get back to the office, he might tell somebody about me, and it might come back to me and plentiful wishes. Like, oh, remember me, you here? I didn't tell you this, but here's who I am. I would love to fly you out, and here's this opportunity. So you just treat everybody the same, and great things to happen in life.
Man, talk about 2 profound moments. The fact that your dad had kind of the wisdom to give you that talk the day after that win, I mean, that's a big moment that easily could have changed like the next 20 years of your life. Because if you would have got caught up in the fame right there on that high, it could have been a whole different path of destruction, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, because even after I won the Ultimate Fighter, when I went in the back and I went to the trophy, I remember Anthony Pettis coming up to me and he grabbed me. So when I started training, I trained at the gym he was at. And like, bro, I'm so proud of you. Right now, it's the biggest moment in your life. Strike while the iron's hot. Like, you're going to be hot now. Now the time. Like, everything's going to come your way. Run with it. Like, saying, like, everything's going to come. Like, if people want to get you on shows, they want to do this, do it because the attention's going to be on you. Like, and I've gave that advice to other young kids when they start being star power. Like, now you are a star. Like, that's what I do now. Like, right now the fire is on you. Like, it's hot. Now is the time you can be molded. Strike while it's hot. But it's like how you do it. I'm not telling you to strike and go do anything wrong. Yeah. It's just like right now while the attention's on you, use that. And like I said, and instead, like I said, I remember I went back home. That night I went out and I remember everybody was getting everything free, all the drink. Oh, it's chance. And I probably could have went to some parties I had been invited to. Somebody hit me up, like, oh, we're going down, this party's gonna be coke. I don't do drugs. I'm cool, bro. I'm going home. Like, I could have fed into all that right then, and who knows? Could end up getting some girl pregnant that night, ruin my life, end up on a drug, get into an accident. Anything could have happened. So many different flips of the coin, shake of the dice. It could have landed this way, landed that way. But instead, I just, like I said, since my dad said that, every day it sticks in my head. It's like,
not better than anyone.
I'm not better than anyone.
Yeah.
And like, again, like I said, I don't care about the attention. I made a post the other day. I gave a side-by-side to the veterans. It's like, I've given vehicles. I've never sold one of my vehicles. Every time I get it, I never sell it. I give my vehicle to somebody in need. Like, I've given many vehicles, many things, but I don't post about it. You see guys that post about that stuff. Like, I don't want the attention. And I tell people, don't tell nobody. It's like, you just got it. You bought it, this and that. Like, I don't like the attention on me. I don't want people to know, oh, you did this. Nah.
It's not for the likes.
It's not for the likes. It's because I'm no different than he was at that age. Had my young cameraman, he loved my old car. It was an old car, but the car I had before, he loved it. We go play, he loved my car. I love my car. When I moved, I invited him over to dinner and threw him the keys. Like, there you go. He's like, what? Hey, sure, I'm not taking it with me. And it's just like, I didn't need 2 cars. I just got a new car. It's like, here you go, and stuff like that. And I could see his expression.
Changed his life.
He was a struggling kid, putting all his money in his car, a beater.
Yeah.
And it's like, now it's like this kid is off thriving, living his life, doing good. And he sent me a picture of the car. I was like, bro, still, thank you so much. And it's like, I didn't do it for the thanks to do it so you can have a better life, get to jobs, get to work.
Yeah.
He travels the world in his car now. It's like, you don't have to worry about replacing it. You're saving your money. Like, because if somebody could do that for me, if I was struggling, I know it would help. And if I got the opportunity to help somebody, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. What a blessing.
Yeah.
What do you tell people is the hardest thing you've gone through in life? Or hardest season?
I think the hardest thing I went through, and like for me, was my junior year in college. It was that and a bad breakup, but the breakup actually ended up being like a vacation because the Ultimate Fighter came the next day. I left for that, so that helped. But the college, my junior year in college, and when I went to Newberry, South Carolina, the reason why I was only there for a year, the coach there, he made it like a living hell. I was 16 hours from home, no family, didn't know anything, and he kind of like just held the full ride tuition thing over my head. And every time I say anything or did anything wrong, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull your tuition. Like, I don't have family, I don't have anything, I don't have any money. I'm out here 16 hours away with nothing, and it was just. Again, my mom was like a big factor in a lot of points in my life because I remember her calling me and I would call her and talk about how bad it was. And I remember I don't drink and drive. And if I ride my motorcycle, I'm not even going to touch alcohol. Mm-hmm. Well, when I was in South Carolina and I had a Hayabusa, I'm 19 years old with a Hayabusa stretched out, one of the fastest crotch rockets in the world, and I would drink Four Locos and ride that bike. I just was in a miserable spot. Like, it was a dark place. I didn't really care because coach was making life hell for me.
Looking for an escape.
Yeah, it's like I didn't care. Like, nothing mattered. I don't drink during wrestling season. I was going to practice drunk, hungover, spend nights hungover on couches because it was just in this dark spot. And I just remember my mom calling me. Was like, son, if you want us to come pick you up, we come get you. Like, you ain't got to stick in anything you don't want to. Like, you finish this year and we'll come. As soon as you're done, you go talk to AD. We'll get you out of there and we'll go do something new. Like, you don't have to stay anywhere you don't want to stay. Put God first, son, and you stay in your books and finish this year, and we're going to find something different. And I did just that. I finished those books, and I went to AD, told him what was going on, and got out of there. But that in my mind, that was probably the most miserable and the darkest spot. And I've always been like a joyful, like even when I was a fat, lazy kid, I've never really been depressed. Like a sad, depressed, but not on the, like I don't believe in depression, but I'm not one to fall into like, oh, depression, so I need to see counseling. So like I find ways to work out and get past things. Me personally, other people are different. But in that spot, it's like you can see drinking, like people, I got fall into a drinking hole. Yeah. And that was my thing. Like I was drinking like a Four Loko a day. And Four Loko, this is before they revamped it. Like I was drinking them things like water. Jeez. And, like all I had was my motor, I jump on my bike and just go riding around town, ride to class, ride on the country roads. Go pick the girl up I was talking. We go riding. She, I've been drinking already, just riding on the country. Just anything could happen. But I was just in a spot where I just didn't care anymore. This dude was literally making life a living hell to the point where, it's like I said, I was only 19 years old. I don't have family. I don't have any money, so I can't just up and leave. My parents can come get me, but now I feel like I'm a quitter. I don't quit anything. I finish everything I start. And it's just like, it was horrible.
That's interesting because your dream was also to wrestle in college, right?
Yeah, that was it. And he got me there. Had all these other offers and other schools I was planning on going to, and he called me like, "Oh, we're the number 2 team in the country, and we beat these D1 schools, the schools that you recruited you, and we come here, we get you a full ride, and you come here, and if you winning, you starting, and all this stuff, all the stuff that sound good." And when I got there, everything. Like, I would beat the starter and the wrestle off. Like, you not starting for me. Like, I only got you here so you couldn't go nowhere else. Like, what? Because I was, like, number 1 heavyweight recruiter. So I'm like, hold on. Yeah. What? And he was like, you better do this, sir. I'm pulling your tuition. Then what you going to do? Then you got to get it. And it was like, I talked to the school like I want to leave. I heard talking to the school. You suspended from the team. I'm like, whatever. And he called me. You back from suspension. Get on the scale. Like, I wrestle heavyweight. What's my weight weigh? I'll be like 264. Like, you supposed to be 260. You got to do punishment workouts for a week now. Like, for what? Like, because you came over 4 pounds heavy. Like, my weight limit is 285. Like, man. Like every day it was something. Like
some sort of chip on his shoulder.
And the worst was, like, he had this property that 2 of the wrestlers stayed at. And everybody went out there one day. We fishing, and we shooting 20-shot rifles. We having a blast. And he pulls up on the property. I remember he walked past everybody and walked down and what the fuck you doing on my property? Like, what? I heard everybody else. Get the fuck on my property before I call the cops. Like, what? What? They can't even arrest me. If I ever see you on my property, I'm calling the cops and you getting arrested for trespassing. You messing up my deer hunting. Like, the whole team was out there. Why? Like, what the? Like,
that's insane.
Yeah, it was, I don't know.
He, like, picked you out.
Yeah, I don't know if, like, maybe he hated the fact that my father has a successful business and it was, I don't know. Like, being black and this, I don't know what it was, but he, like, made life. Like I said, it was to the point, like, I just, And I remember the other coaches telling me, like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing. Your time will come. Like, but it never was going to come. No matter what I did, it wasn't coming. And it's kind of funny because the first guy I fought to get on the Ultimate Fighter, Kelly Knudsen, was like one of his proteges from that school, his first 3-time All-American, all this. And like I said, nobody on the team could really beat me. They could compete with me, but nobody could beat me. And I remember him calling him in one day like, oh, you can beat everybody else, so good luck doing that to this guy. And I bopped the floor with him like, this is what you brought in to be? This is it? He got pissed. He remember him saying like, he'll kill you in MMA though. He'll beat the shit out of you in MMA. Which just so happened, Ultimate Fighter.
He was the
guy.
I
had to fight him to get into the house.
No way.
And he was beating me the first round. And I ended up coming back and demolishing the last 2. Then after Ultimate Fighter, I went back to coaching college wrestling. So at the time, I'm coaching junior college, and he's still coaching the D2 school. And in my first tournament back, it was national duels in Springfield, Illinois. And I never forget. I went down to the front desk to ask for like towels for one of my wrestlers. So I'll be right back. Like, all right, thank you. And I turned to lean on the counter, and guess who's standing next to me? Coach Valek from Newberry. And actually, Bert knows Valek, because I talked to him about it at SIG. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. Hey, Coach, what happened to your dude beat his shot? He was like, fuck you, just walk.
Oh, man.
Like I told you, the other assistant coach came like, bro, he big mad that you beat his guy. Like, he thought for sure he was going to kill you. Like,
yeah,
he ain't let that go forever. Like, hey, that's what it is. Like, I don't care about him at all. It's like, he made my life a living, like I said, living hell, but I think it was bad. Like I said, I went out there the 4th of July with my Harley. Went to my buddy, oh, here a beer. Like, I'm on my bike. I don't drink. I don't touch alcohol, because if something happened, it's going to go back to he has alcohol in the system. I will not. But Newberry, I was drinking, and I'm not even like a big drinker, but I was.
Something about it.
Like, it got to a point where I had to drink like 3 or 4 Locos before I go out, because it was just, I was like immune to them. It didn't get me tore up like they used to.
Just looking to wait. You're like numb in pain at that point.
Yeah. Like, you don't think about it as a kid. It was just a crutch. At times, I thought, it's nothing. Just have another one. Have another one. But then I look back like, yo, I was like on a suicidal road in a way, because I would go ride my motorcycle on a country road at like 180. Yeah. Just my sunglasses, no helmet. Just straight shot. Just didn't care. Just living on the edge with no regrets. If something happened, it happens.
It's crazy. We talk all the time about how like a great coach can change your life. A great mentor can say it like the perfect thing at the perfect time to change your life positively. But it's pretty astonishing how like the words that come out of our mouth can negatively impact someone's life too. Like it can go both ways. Yeah.
And thankfully I have one of both.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, without that dark time, that dark time kind of prepared me for the fight life. At the same time, you realize there's a lot of managers and people out here in this industry that are like that. They're going to tell you what you want to hear just to get you there. Then the script is going to change when you get in front of them. So it's like you learn to pay attention to those features. I want to get you here. We want to do this on this meeting. Fly out here, this and that. And you sit there before you sign the paper and you get to talk and you ask them the questions. You just keep asking. And you're just kind of pushing, delaying the inevitable. And you keep saying things, just push up till they say the wrong thing. Oh, well, I'm going to look this over and I'll get back to you. They want you to sign now. And there's so many people that's so anxious, like, oh, I want to get this, I want that, I'm going to do it now. Just like I say with women in houses. Like, you take a woman to house shop and the first one, I want it now. I tell my father, like, stop. We got to look at everything. We got to look at the market.
Yeah.
But you want it so bad that you sign right away.
Yeah.
But the fact, that's what happened to me at that school. The fact he said full ride, I wanted that full ride. And my coach actually told me before I left, like, don't depend everything on the full ride. One of the most important decisions of your life. Don't let the money mess it up. And that's the guy I coach with now, Stephen Bradley, who was my mentor, who changed my life. Like, he took me from the fat kid, and at 6 a.m. one day, he came to my room, like I know you want to be good, but I'm going to make you great. And like, it starts now, 6 a.m., we go. And to this day, it's like, he calls me in fight camp. I live down the road from him now. Like, you work hard today? Good. Go be the man. Before my fights, you ready to be the man? Nobody can stop it. Go be the man. Work hard. You've been doing it your whole life. And it's like, you got to have that yin and yang. You got to have the good and you got to have the bad.
Yeah.
So if you never had the bad, you never really understand when things aren't good. It's like you think everything is great because you never had bad until you get into that dark moment. Like I said, I never had any troubling situations in my life until that year in South Carolina. I realized, like, yo, this world it can't have evil in it.
Yeah.
I just happened to be blessed with great people around me my whole life, but in that 1 year, I needed that to realize.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, life ain't some sunshine and rainbows everywhere.
Yeah.
There are real people out here that don't care about you. They're going to do what they got to do to get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, like after I left there, and when I live in New Jersey now, a lot of my teammates I was on the team were all from New Jersey, from the same high school. And I talk to them now, and a lot of them say, like, bro, you left at the right time. It's like all of them were like, finish their wrestling career, but they couldn't graduate because the guy had them short credit. Like they was only getting so many credits so they can wrestle, but not enough to graduate. But now that their wrestling season over with, and they asked for help, like, you don't wrestle with me no more. And I was like, yo,
Dang.
what the fuck? Like, I did because you told me to. It's like, now you just got to figure out your own way. And it's, like I said, I think it was a blessing in disguise for me. Like I needed that to prepare me for what was going to happen throughout life. Life in the UFC, life in Bellator, life on the road. Like I said, I left home at 17. I graduated high school at 17 years old. So when I went to college, I couldn't get financial aid because I wasn't 18 yet. But a lot of things you learn in that, and then getting out to South Carolina, like I learned a lot of things since a young age. Now I'm 34, twice as long as it's been since I left home, and all those things for 17 years I picked up and learned. It's like now I can like point younger generations and help my kids do the right way. Like I say so to my wife, she's like, you think you know everything? Like I don't think I know everything, but I've been here before. It's like getting scammed by things. People, oh, got this deal. And I tell her, like, I don't think we gonna go, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, you think I'm getting scammed? I think you're getting scammed. Like, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, you've never been there. I've been there.
Too good to be true.
It's like, yeah, it sounds too good. It sounds great. If it works out, it's great. But if not, like, I've thought I had this experience before, babe. I think we're getting scammed.
Yeah.
It's like, I have a big say in it. I should have said no on some stuff, but at the time, like, it sounds good, but let's try. We're going to put all our money in. We're going to put a little bit in. Something we can risk losing, a little bit of change, but it's like, oh, they're not responding. Like, we got scammed. Like, that's wild. Like, it sounded good. They had all they ducks in a row.
Yeah.
But now we finding out it was a scam. Good thing we didn't give them all the money, just a little bit. But that's the stuff we learned because I've been through those bads in life.
You got to have the highs and lows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, adversity is what builds our character. If life was good all the time, we'd be so soft.
Let's not talk about soft. That's these entitled kids these days.
The kids.
The kids these days are super entitled because life was always good. Parents don't want them to understand the struggle or anything. Like, parents like, I don't want them to struggle like me, but they need to.
They have to.
It's like, how often do you go to a restaurant now, you see kids and every kid at the table got an iPad or a phone in their face.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what boredom is. They need instant gratification, YouTube, all that. People look at me like I'm crazy because we go out, my kids has never had a tablet. We let them use the phone if we're on the airplane because a long time, nothing to do. It's like, yeah, we let them watch the phone. Other than that, they get a little bit of screen time here. Get outside. Go play with your toys. You got all those toys. Go play. And my son will watch TV a little bit, but he gets a dick. Oh, no. Outside. Let's go to the property. I don't want to go. Let's go. But you go into the restaurants. We was on vacation, and you just see everybody in there with their iPad, all the kids, and nobody's talking. Then they wonder why these kids got communication problems. Oh, my son has it. This doesn't have any issues.
No.
Your son is just zonked by a screen, and that's all he knows now. He doesn't know how to say hi. He doesn't know how to shake somebody's hand. I come up and greet him. He does this. It's
scared to look at you.
Yeah, it's because we started at home. You know what I mean? Like I said, everybody like, oh, you cool, your kid don't have a tablet? Oh, bring his tablet. Like, what tablet? You don't got a tablet? No. That kid's play. I was like, we go to somebody, they on the screen, like, CJ, go outside. I want to go outside. It's like, you're not finna get like everybody else. Like, I'm going to make sure of that. Like, the world is too soft and it's too normal because everybody's doing it. And that's the problem. If everybody's doing it, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, you got a 180 out.
Yeah, I've always said, when everybody go this way, I've always been the one to go the opposite. It's easy parenting giving my son a tablet. I put the TV on and just let him sit there. That's easy. It's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's going to make it, it's going to work out in my favor and his favor because later in life, you're going to realize, I tell him when we go do something, let's go do this, man. I don't want to. Let's go do, I don't want to. I pull him aside, look at me. It's going to be times in life, you ain't going to want to do a lot of things. But guess what? You got to do it if you want to survive.
Got to go.
Like, he's only 5 now. I've been starting saying that since he was 3. Like, you say that like he understands. I see him look at me. But eventually it's gonna click. He's like 9, 10, maybe he started understanding things. My dad said this before. Like, my dad said things when I was a kid. Didn't click till I was an adult. Like, it started now. And when it makes sense to him. But my dad been saying this my whole life. Like, I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. If I want to live, if I want a job, if I want to have a roof over my head, I got to do it. Like I said, new gentle parenting, all that, that's for the birds. I'm still the old school way, no TV, get up, go do this. What I say? Get over here. I not hit him, but like I pop on his butt in public, pinch his arm, people looking at me like I'm crazy. Like,
yeah,
can I help you?
Yeah.
It's like, this is my son. Like, my son is not going to be a statistic. He's not
Yeah.
going to be, he was murdered by a cop because he was fighting back and arguing with the cop, and the cop didn't want to straighten him. He shot him. No, he's
Yeah.
don't know, but you respect your authority. So when I raise my voice, that means something serious. Stop what you're doing. Listen to me. Same thing with a police officer. He raised your voice at you. That means something got serious. Stop. Pay attention.
Listen.
Do what the cop told you. Just that's it. Life is easy.
Yeah, it's so crazy nowadays, and we're going into next year will be year 5 of homeschooling our girls. We're really similar to you, where they'll do homeschool with my wife in the morning, and they'll do it from about 9 to 11. So they'll go like 9 to 11. That's only 2 hours of book work, and that has them about a year ahead of their peers. So with that 2 hours each morning, they're about 1 year ahead of their public school peers in their same age class. But then at 11, my wife kicks them outside for about 2 hours. And they go run around in the field, jump on the trampoline, ride their bike, and they do sit around like in the driveway kind of bored because they're like sick of riding their bike, or they're sick of jumping on the trampoline. And that boredom starts brewing up all the creativity, which is what happened to me when I was a kid. Like, when you're bored, you're like, well, maybe I'll tear this go-kart apart and see if I can make it faster. And then now I know how to fix my own truck because I was working on my go-kart when I was 8. But if you don't have those moments where you're so bored, you got to think of something creative to do. Like, those creative juices aren't flowing. And so I just feel so blessed that like we were able to make that arrangement happen. And then after they play, they go to gymnastics. They train hard for gymnastics. Reminds me of like, it reminds me of fighting because it's like 3 hours of hard work at a young age, and it's an individual sport. Like, you got to perform as an individual, but then your whole team's counting on you also. So they're getting that whole work ethic in the afternoon. They got their playtime in the middle of the day. They got their academics in the morning, and we just get to see them all the time because they're not traveling back and forth to school, getting home late. So it's been really, really amazing. And thinking about like what's going on in the world now with kids and a lot of their peers, it's like, man, you can see it already that they're like so far ahead of a lot of their friends, where they can like look you in your eye, shake your hand. They can have a conversation for like an hour with an adult that they've never met at dinner because they haven't been glued to a phone since they're 5. And like just that baseline alone already has them like 10 steps ahead, which is scary. I mean, it's scary to kind of like, we talked about this earlier. It's scary because this is the generation that'll be running the country pretty soon. 20 years.
It's like frightening and scary. But like you said, like I said, we are very. My wife did a homeschool thing. My son's 5. He'll be 6 in March. And like I said, we can go to the park. He go up to any kid, to an adult, and he have a full conversation. Since he was 3, we go to the park during the pandemic, and he be climbing some parents. Kids be bagging up. Parents come grab the kid. Like, my son go up to any kid and talking, jumping over the walls, climbing the big kid stuff. Like, how old is he? Like, he's 3. Like, he's 3? Like, my son's 5. He didn't even talk yet. Like, what the? It's like my son's always since a kid. Hi, I'm CJ. This is my sister Nina. When Nina's only crying or crawling before she can say, well, this is my sister Nina. Isn't she cute? Like, he will go on and on and on.
Yeah.
I had my parents before, like, you gonna homeschool him? What about, like, his social life and all that? Like, does my son sound like he got any social problems? I can't get the kid to shut up.
Yeah.
Like we had only kids that's, like, smarter than him. But even, like, the physical aspect of what he can do and what he believes he can do, he's, like, leaps and bounds above everybody his age or even older kids. Like, they might know a little more if they go to, like, a public school, like an expensive public school where they focus on the books and stuff. But for the most part, my son is smart as a whip. It's like, and it's like we go to art camp right now this week. And, like, when he be drawing, and at home, all he does is draw. Like I say, we let him get bored. Like, it's not like instant gratification. Like, oh, I'm bored. Oh, let's go to this. No, like, go find something to do. The other day, he's like, I'm not a kid with an imagination. I'm crazy. Like, stop. You got the best imagination in the world. 2 minutes later, he over there drawing a full picture. He got his tongue out, going to work. Goes from that, go build some magnet tiles, like the new Lego type thing. Build his big tile. Dad, look at my big tile. Come around the couch. Like, it's tall tower like this with separate levels. Like, yo, what the? Like, I was like, I built that day. And I knock it over. Like, why'd you do that? And he built it back up better. I was like, he go outside. He finds something to do. Act like he hunting. Like, Dad, look, I'm in my tree stand. And it's like he's using his imagination all day long.
Huge.
It's like, instead of having him inside on TV.
Yeah.
Just there goes someone like, introduce yourself. Mom. No. He's always on it. From the moment he wake up, 6:30 in the morning, he come around, Dad, Mommy, let's get up. I'm ready to go. I want breakfast. I want toast, eggs, toast and peanut butter. I want a waffle. I want syrup, and I want some fruit. And he eat. And I want to go outside. He's constantly on the go.
Yeah.
I want to go see a neighbor. Can I go see Madeline? Can I go see Madison? Can I go see Addison? Can we call Cora? I want to go see Briggs. Like, he always want to do something outside. But, like, when he get bored, he's like, dude, can I watch? No, you're not watching TV. You watch TV while Mommy's making dinner for a little bit, just so she can cook. Then TV goes off. It's just, it's the rest of that. You outside. Stay active. Go color. And she does her homeschool, and I thought it was wrong. Like, how you only homeschool for like 45 minutes?
It's so fast.
It's like, like one time I went in the shower, and I cut my hair and got in the shower and got it, and it was done. Like, I went, what the hell? How's that a quick lesson? Like, Corey, there's no other BS in between. It's literally here. It doesn't have to be all day. That's the problem with school. They're in there all day. They're not learning anything.
It blows your mind.
Yeah. And now I see, like she even said to my daughter, she's 3, and she's been doing the course with my son now. And even she's learning, she's saying stuff, and she's like, she did so good today. Like, I'm not even teaching her, but she's answering because she sit there and listen every day. And it's like, okay. So I don't know anything about the homeschool thing because I was a public school kid my whole life in school, so I don't know how it works, but I can tell it's working for my kids because I see other kids come around, all the kids in the neighborhood that come over. It's one little girl next door that just moved in from Nebraska, and you can tell she's like that. Like, she goes to school, but the dad keeps her outside and play all day long. So it's like she's just like my son. They like 2 peas in the pot. They play all day long. As soon as they get up, they both run out in the yard. He'll go out in the yard and start saying stuff loud, hoping she'll come out. Like, Addison, can you come over and play? And they just play all day long. But then you see the kids that go to school, and they just, like, all the kids playing, they go in the house, they on the iPad.
Yeah. Or
they want to be by themselves and with their mom, and they're like, what? We did a big party the other day for the 4th of July. That weekend, and we probably had like 15, 16 kids, and there was not one tablet out. Because I had the bounce house up, water balloons, water guns.
Yeah.
We had bicycles, chalk to color, and the party started at 2, and it went to 11:30. And the whole time, there was not one kid with a tablet. Everybody had a blast. That's the first thing I said to my wife. Like, thing I loved the most, it was a majority of the kids here, and not one person cried about a tablet.
No electronics.
Nobody wanted to go in and watch TV. Like, we made it where everybody stayed outside and had fun. Kids of different ages, from 14 down to 2.
Game
played
changer.
The whole entire time.
Yeah.
Even my parents brought this one kid up from Wisconsin with them. But they're like, he forgot his tablet. I feel like he's gonna be all off by his tablet. Not one time.
Yeah.
Like, you notice he never said nothing about his tablet all weekend because he had fun.
That's what they want.
Like,
They want the physical exercise.
Yeah, you give him the crush, he's gonna use it.
Yeah.
If you don't mention it, he ain't gonna say a word. He played the whole weekend. Every day he woke up in the hotel, they say, Beanie want to come over and see CJ. Can he come over? Like, come over. Like he just wanted to play. That's it. You put a tablet in front of them, they're gonna take the easy path.
Yeah.
But if you let them play with other kids, like I said, I had the drone out just filming them and playing on the kids on the bounce house and just watching them through the camera. It was like I look back, I'm like, this is what life should be. Like we were. You wake up, get on a bike, go find your friends and play outside till they get dark.
Yeah, and we have to understand that like hundreds of thousands of some of the world's smartest individuals are making the games on these tablets as addicting as possible. So it's not like just some stupid game on a tablet. It's like a Las Vegas casino sophistication tweaked to a kid's version, and then you're just handing it in your kid's hand. Like it is meant and designed to psychologically be so addicting that you need to be on there all the time. It's so much more than just like some stupid game on a screen.
100%. I mean, anything, the shows, all of it. Like your kid's a little older, probably not, but Coco Melon. Like I said, during the pandemic, when my son was like an infant still, and me and my wife was working, and I was still working and fighting and trying to balance it. Like we made the mistake then at the time, like put Coco, because everybody's like, oh, Coco Melon, put it on. And as you get older, as he got older, and you hear that blink,
that
blink,
song.
blink, blink, and you see how the kids like, oh my, like there's something going on with that. And then they get older and it was blippy, and they go, blip, and they all, it's like from that first note of the show coming, you can see everybody's eyes. Like they see on YouTube, they did the Coco Melon challenge, where the kid would be like upstairs and they put Coco Melon outside, and the kids come flipping down the stairs, tripping and falling out around to get there. It's like, yo,
it's like crack.
And y'all are not noticing, and you put it in your kids' hands all day long. It's like pumping subliminal messages or something to where when that sound goes off, there's nothing else that matters.
Yeah.
Like I said, my son, now that he's older, my daughter isn't as much. She never had a TV and a tablet because when we didn't have to work. My wife was a stay-at-home when she had her, but with my son, we both was working, and so we didn't know what we was doing. The first one, and we would give him a tablet. You can see now, like when we give him that little 30 minutes while she making, I come in the house like, CJ, I had to put him on. Like, did you feed the dog today?
They're just in a trance.
Like, CJ, I'm talking to him. I turn the TV, no, like, go feed the dog and go do your stuff. I'm like, turn TV off. Jenny, don't turn TV back on. Like, that's it. It's like, he just, from when he was a kid, just those 6 months or whatever, when he hadn't watching TV till she would stay at home, it's just, because it's Coco Melon and Blippy, all that stuff just hypnotic. And now he's just like, when we turn it off, sometimes he'd have a breakdown and cry. I pull him aside, let's go outside. And he started playing, he forget. That's when my daughter was just like, TV's on, whatever. TV go off, she off to go play, whatever. She go play with her Barbie. She got a little fake makeup and all that, like a little person. Like she's being a little girl.
Yeah.
What a girl's supposed to do. Like I said, just take a second for my son since we started young and we didn't know no better.
Yeah.
Sorry, with his TV at the beginning, and now I feel like when he gets into it, it's like, it's scary. Like
it's
I watch
crazy.
him, like, I hope I didn't ruin him like when he later, because he only had a short spurt, but that little bit of time when
the
that
Coco
TV comes
Melon,
on,
dude. That song.
like I see his eyes and everything. Like, look at just, I look at my wife like, look at him. Look, he's on his couch, on the arm of couch. He's like,
The house could be on fire. He would not know. Like,
everybody running in panic. Transform. Oh man. So yeah.
What did your like faith upbringing look like, and when did you become a Christian?
And so we always in church. You know what I mean? So my mom was at this big old Baptist church, was Macedonia Baptist Church, was in Rockville. My parents were separated when we was kids. And my dad grew up in a big Baptist home where his grandfather, the preacher, uncles and stuff was the ushers and everything. And then it wasn't until I was like 7 or 8 when my dad, this is how my parents ended up getting back together actually. My dad, he was the leader of a motorcycle club. There's this guy, Brother Tommy Ruff, to this day, go home, see him all the time, kind of like an uncle, grandfather figure. But he used to ride with my dad, but he was never drinking, never smoking. Like you said, be different. He was always on the motorcycles with him, but he was never with him. My dad was leader of the motorcycle club, and I remember the one time they was all going to ride, and they stopped or whatever, and went over to Brother Tommy and asked, like, dude, you always with us, but you ain't ever drinking. You ain't doing, what's different about you? Why you always with us if you ain't like hanging out? He said, I was just like riding, Curtis. I'm a Christian. I ain't supposed to be out here. My dad tells the story all the time. I was like, what you mean? Like, I'm a Christian. My dad, like, I was baptized. I'm saved too. Like, I ain't talking about being baptized. Like, I think some people get baptized. Like, oh, I'm saved. I'm going to heaven just because I was baptized.
Yep.
He was like, I accepted Christ as my salvation. I'm like, what you mean? I said, yeah, like, it's a long story. Like, we talk about another time. I'll never forget my dad said after that conversation, when my dad speak at the church or speak to anybody, he always bring this up. So it's like vivid in my head. I remember after that conversation, we parted our ways, and Brother Tommy came over the house one day. He's like, you got time? Like, you want to tell that story? He said, he told me right then, like, at the time, he was like a lost believer. Like, he wasn't around the church like he was supposed to be, but he still was a believer. He knew he wasn't supposed to be out in the world. And told him, like, you got to accept Christ as your salvation. Like, all that baptism, I go to church, pay my tithes, none of that is important. It's like, you got to believe that Christ died on the cross and he was buried and rose on the third day for your sins, not for everybody. He got to believe it's for you. And that's it. I remember going to the house and that was it. It was stuck. That moment stuck in his head all the time, thinking about it. And he called him again. Like, do you truly believe, Curtis? I started reading my Bible. He's like, even then, he's like, I was trying. The Bible said, if you're only supposed to have one wife. Once you marry, that's your wife. He was trying to. Your wife got to be in church. I was trying to bring all these different women I made the club to the church with me, and it just didn't work. They turn their back on me. All my friends started turning their back on me. I tried to bring them to the word, and they showed me, like, I'm not of the word anymore. And I've been using this saying a lot in the last, 2 months with all this stuff going to politics. And you watch the politics? No, I don't pay attention to the politics. I don't watch the news. When the pandemic happened, I remember telling my wife, like, the news don't come in my house ever again. Like, it's feed nothing but negative energy.
Yep.
I'm not of the world, I'm of the world, of the word. And I said it now. People ask me, like, I'm not of the world, I'm of the word. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. Like, I read my Bible every day. Everything I go by, my rules and regulations is right here. It's like, if I got a question with something, somebody's telling me I need to do it, if it's not in the Bible, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you say. If the Bible doesn't tell me I need to do this as a believer, that's not my life. That's your life. You of the world, I'm of the word. So, like, I got strong into being a believer and preaching is like living a better Christian life when the pandemic happened. Like, I tell everybody, pandemic for everybody, like, oh, it was a curse, it ruined my business, it ruined this. For me, it was the best thing that happened in my life. I had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Every morning I wake up, read my Bible, spend time with my family, and it put me in the point where I realized, like, I got a family. I got to teach them the word. I got to live with the word. I can't tell somebody this and be living completely different. At the time, like I said, after that thing with John Jones, at the time I used to beef. I used to make memes and funny jokes about him, going to interviews and talk trash about him, call him out, call him fake Christian, fake that. And when I got into that word so deep and believing, I'll never forget. I went back to church and my mom said something to the church. I said something to her about what I was doing. Like, you can't do it. If he's supposed to be, even if he's not a real Christian, if he says he's a Christian, you got to respect that. Who are you to judge him? Like, you need to apologize.
Yep.
And I've reached out trying to get a hold of John Jones. I ended up posting a public apology online to John Jones, DM'd him some apology, told him, like, I'm going to pray for you. Whatever it is, that's your faith. I can't judge that. But as a man myself and as a Christian, I got to apologize to you because I was wrong. I can't judge you and make fun of that. I got to change my life. I want other people to be better. And that's been it. So every morning I do my devotion, my Les Feldick through the Bible every morning, watch him on YouTube, read my Bible. On the road, I got it on my phone. I'm hunting out on my phone, whatever. So I accepted Christ when I was, truly accepted when I was 14. I know I truly accepted when I was like 13, 14. I can't remember. It was my freshman year. I can't remember if I was 13 or 14, but I remember the moment. I remember the day. I used to, when I was a kid, everybody talked death. I used to get skittish and scared. Like, I was scared of what's going to happen. I was deaf and all that. I never was comfortable. My mom said, like, since you're a kid, you always said you're a believer. But do you truly believe, son? Like, if you believe, you wouldn't fear so much of death. I was like, heaven, this is not our home. Heaven is our home. This is just a pit stop for us to get there. Like, if you was a believer, you wouldn't fear what's going to come after. You would look forward to the life after. I remember going to the room and reading. I remember, because I believe Jesus Christ died across my sins. Like, I believe it. Why am I scared? I remember sitting with my head in the pillow. I was laying there with my head in the pillow, like, yo, why do I get scared so much? Like, holding the pillow, like, why do I get scared so much? Why do I get scared so much? Like, if Jesus Christ died across my sins, he died, he was buried, and he rose on the third day. Rose on the third day from my sins. Like, why am I so scared? Like, if that's just believing. Like, I believe that. And I started coming out like, I believe it, mama. Like, I believe it. And now it's like, even more, I read every day and getting more and more into it. And anybody, if you lost and you want to know, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 1 through 4. That's just already read that. That'll tell you. That's it. I could tell you, but read it. If you listen to read that. If you lost, you're a lost sinner. You read that. That's gonna bring everything into fruition. Those 4 verses right there is gonna bring you right there. It's gonna tell you everything you know. This is the gospel. And that's how you get to heaven. And I'll preach it to anybody. Like I ain't out there like some people, like my father. He'd type. He'd come to a room. He'd be dead quiet. You talking about something else? He gonna stop. Like, do you know the word? He gonna start talking to you. That ain't me. Because I push more people away than they bring in.
Yeah.
But just like, nah, you ask me a question. I can talk about. We can rap all day. But I ain't gonna say it until it come up. And I pray every morning. Present me an opportunity where I can show you a word today. Present me an opportunity where I can bring somebody else closer to you. And even that, like, this is an opportunity where how many people listen to your podcast? If one person take it today, I did my job. And I mean, that's the biggest thing, the greatest thing I have in life.
Yeah.
Beautiful family. I got all the money I need, all the things I can want. But the one thing that you got to have is Jesus Christ. You got to have salvation. And without that, nothing is possible. For me, especially. And the thing is, everybody thank God for things they have in life, but Satan got the same powers God got. Satan got those same powers.
That's crazy, huh?
Think about it. If you ain't living your life right, and you not praying, or not just praying or reading, but if you living life completely foul, you cheat on your wife, you doing drugs, you doing all whatnot, and you still think you're getting blessed by God, that's the devil. And he doing exactly what he want. As long as you thanking God for this, he don't care. He gonna keep giving to you. Like I say, crush the evil, baby. As long as you doing evil stuff and you getting the blessing and you giving thanks to God, the devil down there smiling, baby. Like, I ain't gotta do nothing. Like, he ain't worshiping God. He worshiping me, but he gonna keep thanking God. I give God the credit. Give God the credit because he coming down here to visit me when it's over. There's so many people in the world, they do not know. It's like, God bless me. You just did a line of coke, cheat on your wife. You think God blessing you just because you got an extra paycheck or bonus check? That's the devil telling you, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. Don't change. Like, I'm going to give you some good stuff too, here and there. I'm going to give you the goods to make you stay the same road you on until when you start working towards him, he going to work even harder. Temptations, like I said, when I got to fighting, definitely when I got my fiance, but when she was my girl, there's so many other times, like I'm a Christian, but so many different times the DMs or women would show up, like I could have did it. And like my best friend told me, but like, you love Jenny, don't you? Like, yeah, temptation stronger than any love, bro. Temptation stronger. You gonna follow the temptation. You gonna give into it. Just stay away from it.
You gotta run.
That's it. So now it's another. I just don't even go out.
Yeah.
Like, I love my wife. No point in me going out. When I used to go out, it was to chase women. I don't need that. Stay home with my Bible. Got my wife in the Bible. My kids go to Sunday school. They asking questions, and that's what's important to me. That's
And your parents separated and then got back together?
I forgot that part because
that's pretty cool.
Like I said, because my dad kept trying to bring other women to church, and they just never worked. Yeah, I remember Brother Tommy telling him, like, it ain't gonna work because it's not your first wife. The Bible says it. Like, at one point, Brother Tommy had separated from his wife, and he had another girl, and the same thing, and it ain't gonna work because the Bible. If you're supposed to be a child of God, you're supposed to be with your original wife, even if she ain't. You got to make it work until you live a life so well, to the point where she started wondering, what is he doing? Like, I want what he has. And that's going to get her in the word. And that's going to go like my wife. She was raised Catholic. I've never once told her she got to read the Bible this night. She went to church with me. I would read. And before you know it, I bought her a Bible for her birthday or Christmas, can't remember. And now it's like she get up in the morning. I'm doing my devotion. And I see her walk past her Bible case. And she's going to the kitchen to read. She reads her Bible 30 minutes to an hour. Then she go write her book. Then she go have her coffee on the porch. Then she starts school. It's like every day. It's like I've never once told her, you need to read your Bible.
Just example.
I led by example. I've never had to say a word. She went to church with me every Sunday, and now it's to the point she read and she asked me a question. I'd be like, so I was reading today in Romans. You know this? Now I call my dad or one of the brothers from church, like, what's your take on this? And then sometimes we have our little Bible study in bed before bed. We used to do it every night, but not as much anymore. With the kids getting older, it's hard to keep our times together. But yeah, it's like
so awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think every morning when I do my devotion, I read it, thank them every morning. Like, I've never once had to say anything to her. I never had to push on her or tell her because I could have pushed her away, pushed our relationship away. Instead, she just seen me every morning. Like, I think the greatest thing in my last fight camp, I was doing my devotion before practice. My wife got a picture. I'm on the couch reading, and my kids next to me. I didn't even notice it. Both of my kids had their Bibles, acting like they were reading. They can't read, but they had their Bibles doing what Dad was doing. That's lead by example.
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's it. Like,
they want to do what we're doing.
I never had to tell them, you got to do this, you got to do that. they see daddy doing it every morning. They hear it. And they hear it. I can hear my son repeat stuff that he heard on the TV. And it's like, they're paying attention.
They're soaking everything up.
Exactly. So just keep leading the way. Being a man, being a great father, and an even better believer. And like I say, believer instead of Christian. Everybody say Christian, but it's hard to be Christ-like because nobody's perfect. So I want to be the best believer I can and have my son just follow my way.
That's
and
awesome.
Lead him the way he's supposed to go. And when it's time for him to leave, I don't have to worry about, did I raise him right? Because I'm not going to regret the way I raised him.
You equipped him.
Yes. Yeah. I gave him all the tools he needed. You got every tool. Like my father told me growing up, everything I teach you, whether you use it or not, is here. It's yours. And that's like I was telling him, I do all the editing. I do everything myself first. Like you said, you work part of your dirt bike or your go-kart to make it fast, and now you can work on a truck because you're bored. Same. I used to rip my dirt bikes apart. Got my cross track. I came up from college. I'm going to stretch it out. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing. I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Do it all once. My wife said, why don't you pay somebody? You got the money. Because if I do it once myself, I know how to do it. Now in the future, I can examine if it's worth my time or not. But the first time, I'm going to do it myself. So nobody can tell me it can't be done. Or, I don't have time. Like, all right, I do it myself. It's like, but I learned from that. Same with my kids. Teach them everything I know. Have them watch me when I'm working on the truck. Have my son, come on, let's go work on the truck. Act like he's doing something. I'm watching the truck. You want to help me? Teaching them the details in this. Teaching them that. When I'm doing the bolt, look, I always go to the right when I tighten. When I go to the left, I go this way. If you don't want to strip it, start going to the left first and put it into the right.
Yeah.
Teaching them little stuff like that. And right now he's 5. People look like, oh, what are you doing? He's only 5. As he gets older, it's going to be there. He's going to be 18 one day. His friend's car break down. Because I was that kid. My kids' friends' cars break down. They know, dude, like, I got you. Like, how you know how to do this? Like, oh, my dad used to teach me this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, bring it to my house. We got the car horse in the shop. We can do it right there. Like, what? That I always said, man gonna do it. You a man, ain't you?
Stuff's the best.
That's to this day. He said, some break. I look like, man. He said, you man gonna do it. You a man, ain't you? Like, I ain't gonna call nobody. Like, all right, just making sure. So we gonna get it done.
That's awesome. When I first met you it was at that SIG Hunter
6 Hour Hunter Games, yep.
In Evanston, we were sitting at those dinner tables, and you told me about it. You told me about a big fight that you had where there was like a mistake. You like an elbow or something, and you had to raise your hand with like a few seconds left and tell the ref. You had to call out your own foul. Is that accurate? Mm-hmm. Can you walk me through again what happened that day?
Yeah. So that was that first title fight I ever had. At the time, number 1 pound for pound 205er, and I was dominating. 3rd round. It's a 5-round fight, but the rule is if it goes halfway past the mark of the fight, so it should have been 2.5 rounds in the 3rd round, the fight goes to the scorecards. Well, anyway, I was winning, going to get the finish. 3 seconds left, and I hear my coach say, go, good. The guy's defeated. Like, I'm already bloodying him up from punches and elbows, and I go to drop the finishing elbow. Like, at the time, I was finishing everybody with elbows. And I was like, I sit up doing the elbow. He, like, kicks my leg, and I fall head first, and we collide heads. And my elbow comes down at the same time, so it looked like I hit the elbow, but it was my head. But they couldn't see it from the angle. And I was like, keep going, it's a clean blow. And I heard him say that. And I stop, and I sit up, and I put my hand like it wasn't a clean blow. It was my elbow, or it wasn't my elbow, it was my head. And I don't know, like I said, God works in mysterious ways because, like, in the adrenaline of everything going on, and out of everything that was being said, I heard crowd, I hear, But for some reason, when the ref said, keep going, it was a cleanup, it came loud as day. And I was getting ready to punch, and I stopped, and I looked, and like, it wasn't a clean blow, it was my head. And I went to punch, and he grabbed me, like, whoa, stop, what? I was like, I headbutted him, it wasn't a punch. He's like, whoa, time out. And they went to the judges, and the doctor waved the fight off because a legal blow was a headbutt, accidental head clash. And then they went to rule books. They told me I won because it was past the 2.5 minutes. So I'm celebrating. I'm on the cage. I'm like, yeah, I just beat the number 1 pound. Like, I've defeated
title fight.
Yeah, title fight. I won $1 million too at the end of a tournament. $1 million check for the winner of the tournament. Jeez. They bring the check in. They got the belt. I'm celebrating. I jump down. The check walks out, and they take the belt out of the cage. Like, yo, what's going on? I was like, we just looked in the rule book. The rules is the 3rd round had to completely finish. You stopped the ref with 3 seconds left from the fight.
3 seconds.
It was like, so unfortunately, we can't grant you, even though the fight was pretty much over, we can't grant you in because the doctor stopped it with 3 seconds. If he would let 3 seconds go and then stop it, it'd be different. But it was still 3 seconds when he waived the fight.
That's insane.
And I was like, yo, the fight is over. Like, he's still on the ground now. He's like, you can't. The rules is like,
it didn't finish out.
3 seconds. And it was just like, I don't know. Like I tell everybody, like even Scott Coker, if I was Corey, I'd be angry that I stopped the ref. Like I said, now I did a rebuttal. I took a remix on Instagram like, Scott Coker, I love Scott Coker, but he can't say I'm angry because he's not Corey. Like as a child of God, like God's got a plan. Like this, obviously God's plans for me to go through some more trials and tribulations. It wasn't my time to have a belt yet, so I can't be angry at God. Because if I'm angry, that's what I'm angry at. And it's like I'm upset with myself. I'm upset with the fact I didn't get the belt, but at the time, lesson's going to happen, and the belt will be mine in time. It just wasn't my time. Well, here we are now, 2024. The belt is mine. It just wasn't, at that time, it just wasn't my time. Then in the rematch, like I said, not like I got big britches or like I thought it was going to be defeated, but I remember all camp, like I didn't train, like I always train hard. This camp, it was like I trained hard, but it wasn't like overtime hard. Like everything was like I tell my sparring partners, we're not going to go hard. We're going to go like a good pace, but not like hitting each other hard because I don't want to get hurt before the fight. Yeah. I had a bunch of injuries. It was not much wrestling because my back was messed up. Like, but if I told them I was hurt, I would have to get surgery, and they would put somebody else in to fight for the title, and I would lose the opportunity. So instead, I just milked it through and went on. But guess what? When I lost, I never said anything about, oh, I didn't train hard. It was it. I said straight up, it was Corey Anderson. Corey Anderson didn't train. Corey should have trained. Simple as that. Yeah. He came with a vengeance. He knew what I did on the first fight. He had a whole tape to go off of. He didn't want it to happen again. As for me, I was set in my mind. There was no way he was going to get that much better. Proved me wrong, didn't he?
Too confident.
Yeah, I got too confident when I did the first fight and thought it was going to happen in the second fight. Didn't take the fact that he had all the film and time, 7 months to prepare. As for I did the same thing I did the first fight, but easier. Like I took it easy on myself to save my body. Instead of putting myself through the tough spots now and live as a champion forever, I took it easy through camp, hoping to become a champion that night. And it cost me. He was a better man. Congratulations, Redeem them call. He did nothing wrong. I did nothing right. So
yeah,
that was it. Owned it. That's it. Nothing. And then I wanted a trilogy. That's it. Trilogy. When the trilogy came, he knew because he saw me that fight week. He fought on the same card when I defeated the guy to get the title fight. I could see him looking at me all week. Like he could tell, like it wasn't the same as the second fight. Like
the
I was
look in
focused.
Your eye.
Yes,
yeah.
like I'm staring at him like I'm gonna break you. We fight. I'm gonna kill you this time. Like not kill, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
make you where you wish you died. And it was even after, like I knew he didn't want to fight me because he did an interview and they asked him after I won, like, who did you wish won? And this is now. You see how if you catch this. He fought the guy I fought. He fought him twice. Defeated him twice. Fought me twice. I beat him once. He beat me once. When the fight happened, he did the interview. He said, I wish Phil Davis fought so we could have fought a third time to see if he could have came back better. That's what the translator was saying. Then when he decides he's not fighting me anymore, he says, well, I'm going to go up to a different division because I don't want to fight the same guys anymore.
No way.
I was like, Mom, you just did an interview last week and said you wanted to fight him a third time to see if he could rebuttal himself, but you didn't want to fight me a third time because you didn't want to fight the same people anymore. I was like, you saw, like, it was a whole different, I was locked in, set, focused, and ready to go.
He does not want to go through that.
He didn't want to go through that again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what people say, you think he's scared? 100%. 100%. I would take this. He said he wanted to fight at 205. He wanted to do this, but then when I won, there's nothing else for me to prove here. Like, yeah, it is, because you didn't beat me. Well, the first fight, the second fight you beat me, but the first fight, I beat you. It's not like a fair who's the best. It's 1-1. Yeah. You didn't want to settle the dirt. It's all right.
So you did fight him 3 times?
Twice. He didn't fight the third time it was supposed to happen. So now it's like, whatever. I'll keep defending my belt. And once I'm done with that, I'll go up to heavyweight. I'm going to get him. That's the plan now. That's the thing. I don't think I could leave peacefully until I got that trilogy. If he beat me, fair and square. But I don't think I can hang it up until I get that fight. Yeah. As of right now, that's my mindset. I've had rematches I lost. And like I know in a rematch, okay, I beat him the first time, he knocked me out, like Jan Blachowicz. That's different. First fight, like I mauled him 3 rounds. He couldn't get up off the cage for 15 minutes. He was still down there defeated. Second fight, I went out there trying to prove a different point. Like I don't have to wrestle him, I can strike with him. I trained hard, but I tried to fight his game plan. It cost me. That's not eating me up that much because I know I didn't do what I was supposed to do in the cage. Like I still know. Even when people say, like, you think he's better than Corey because he knocked him out, that's what when they did 3 rounds, Corey dominated him in every aspect. Corey tried to strike with a championship kickboxer. He paid the cost.
Yeah.
But we go MMA for MMA, I'm a better mixed martial artist than 99% of the fighters out there because I can put it together really well. And in that fight with Jan, I was like, I'm just going to strike with him. I ain't going to wrestle. It cost me.
Yeah.
With the Nemkov fight, I didn't train like I needed to train. Like, I remember in the corner, coach like, what's going on? Like, coach, I don't know. I cannot get my hands going. Like, oh, why are you not throwing that kick? Is there? Like, I don't see it. In the third round, I finally started getting it. And those are the 2 rounds I won. Fourth and fifth round, I won. But he was already,
He was up.
Everybody I talked to, even the media and the promoters, they say, you won the last 2 rounds, but he was already up 3 rounds. But I didn't take off until 4th round. I remember telling the coach, I'm getting it now. I feel it now. Yeah. I finally got it going, but it was too late. Like, I had to get the finish, and it wasn't going to happen. But, yeah, like I said, I know for a fact, like that, I could beat that guy. As Jan, like, everybody talk about Jan, oh, Jan's your dad, you're Jan's son, whatever. Like, I know I can beat him. Mm-hmm. I had the wrong game plan on that one. As for Nemkov, that was one I myself didn't train the way I should have, and I know I'm better than that. So that's the one I got to get. The other losses, like, it'd be cool to get him back. But if I didn't, brush my way to real, keep moving on. But that Nemkov fight, that's the one that's like, I
stuck in your head. Yeah.
Yes, if I get another time to go out to do it, and I do it the right way, I know for a fact, like, I can get it. Now, if he gets me, hats off. He's the better man. But right now, I cannot say he's better than me because he's better than that Corey Anderson that was being lazy in fight camp, not the one that's locked in. And there's nobody to blame but myself. Opportunity I had, and I pissed it away because I got comfortable.
Good lesson.
That's it. Never get comfortable.
Yeah.
I tell my wife, stop, don't get comfortable. There's nothing, don't get comfortable. I said before that fight, now I can look at her and say, that's what happens when you get comfortable. You think you got it made in the shade like a glass of lemonade, and it's gone. Because I got comfortable. It's never set.
Mountain Tough is the fitness app trusted by the dedicated. Mountain Tough ethos is backed by, we've always wanted to be the best in the world at helping our customers become more mentally tough. So inside the Mountain Tough app, you're not only going to find all of our physical training programs, but you're going to find additional training as well so that you can stay sharp physically, mentally, spiritually, and nutritionally. The Mountain Tough app also allows you to train no matter where you are, anytime, anywhere. Additionally, the Mountain Tough app is going to have programs from beginners all the way up to elite athletes. And all of our programming is structured in a way that you can start with no gear at body weight, and you can go all the way up to programming that is full gear. So you can do that in a robust home gym or your local gym. There's no excuse for you not to start today. With Mountain Tough, you can conquer your goals with the ideal program for your lifestyle and schedule. Train with equipment or just your body weight on your phone, tablet, TV, or web browser. Most importantly, Mountain Tough will help you train your mindset so you are always ready for anything life throws your way. Mountain Tough is offering the Mountain Tough podcast listeners an incredible offer. 6 weeks free on the Mountain Tough app. All you need to do is use the code MTNPOD to redeem your 6 weeks of training. That'll be a 14-day free trial plus a whole additional 4 weeks of training. Just go to mountaintough.com and enter code MTNPOD for your 6 weeks free on the best-in-class physical and mental training app. You've been listening to the Mountain Tough podcast. What did it feel like to get the belt last year?
It felt good. It felt great. It felt like the long time coming. You know what I mean? Like I said, 11 years, a long time.
Yeah.
It was, and like I said, in the moment when they put the belt around me, I was upset with myself because I wanted to finish. Like, I was one of them camps where I was set training, like I was determined to get a finish. I dominated 5 rounds, 0. But I was, in my mind, like, I'm finishing this guy for the belt. So, winning the belt was great. It was awesome. But in my mind, it took me a second to realize. Even my coach came in, like, slapped me on the Frank Edgar hit me and be like, yo, chill, you won the belt. Like, yeah, I know. I'm looking like, bro, you fucking won the belt. You're a world champion. What are you talking about? Look down. I looked down like, snap. I started smiling and celebrate. And then hit me in the moment. In that moment, the next emotion hit like, yo, it's been long. And I started crying. Like, it just, like your knees get weak. Like, it's been a long road. I remember dropping my knees. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like the weight on your back finally is off. The monkey's off my back. And it was like, it was cool. Just walking around all day with the belt, like the rest of the night through Ireland and at the hotel. And I still got my suit. It was not just winning the belt, but like that fight was dedicated to my nephew, because at my last fight, my nephew was there. And he said, we getting the belt the next one. The next one we getting the belt. And then the next time I saw him, we went out bowling. Talking about, you got the fight yet? You got the title fight? You got the title fight? And then that night he was murdered. Like we parted ways and he got shot that night. And the last thing we talked about was like, he said, like, you got that fight coming up yet, huh? Like, not yet, but I got the belt coming. Say my next fight is for the belt. You gonna get it. Stay focused.
Man.
So, all right, nephew, love you. Gave him a hug. Come to the crib soon. He went ways. Was going the same way. And also his car veered off, and I woke up to he was dead. He got murdered that night. I was like,
where'd he get murdered at?
Back, he went to a party with his friends. His buddy was with. They went to a party. A fight broke out. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Guns came out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but yeah. So that was another. That was dedicated to him. Like the last thing we talked about, and at the funeral, his funeral, everybody there was and the funeral happened before the fight. So everybody at the fight was talking about, or at the funeral was like, man, all he talks about his uncle, and every time I cut his hair, his barber, like every time I cut his hair, I always talk about his uncle got this fight. He don't get the fight. Every time you fight, they call us like, yo, check that. And I didn't know, like he told so many people about him. Like that was my boy. Like since he was a kid, he was like kind of like my son. Everywhere I went, he went. And it was,
man.
And then it hit me at the funeral, like how big of an impact. Like he really watched me, and he was 23 at the time. Like
you didn't even know.
Yeah, I had no clue. Like I was that big. Like he was my boy. Like we talk often, not like we should, but when we come to town, I would always see him. They lived next door to my parents. They lived in my parents' rental house next door, so I would see him all the time. And even that, like when we left the bowling alley, like he was following me to the house. That was a crazy one. Like I could see his tail headlights in my rearview mirror. And then when I look back, I could see him veer off. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe we're going to get some eat, whatever.
So he was going to come home.
But yeah, he was going home. Like it was me, his mom, my sister, her husband, her husband's son, him and his roommate, and my best friend. We all bowling till midnight. Till the bowling alley shut down. And like, all right, we out in the parking lot talking, lights off. We in the parking lot talking. Like, I'm about to get home. Get some sleep because I got to hit this road back home in the morning. I was actually in town for a funeral.
Dang.
Like, and that night they hit us, like, get together before you leave. Like, all right, go bowling. And like I said, just.
They get like a text for a party or something?
I guess, I don't know. His roommate said they went somewhere to a party. It was like a rooftop party. And it's crazy. That was July. It was a year ago, the 16th. 2 days ago.
A couple days ago.
Yeah. And they finally caught the guy. I was in Vegas a month ago, and it was the whole situation is crazy. Like I had a rooster fighting tank top on, the float like a butterfly, sing like a bee, whatever. No, the Mike Tyson one, the yellow one. I remember the picture he was taking. Me and my nephew taking selfies, and you can see the picture, and the smell of him was on. I hadn't washed it, none of that, because after that, it was like it was just that moment. That was the shirt. The last time I seen him, the smell of him was in it. He always wears cologne, and the first time I wore that tank top again was in Vegas because it was super hot. And like I took it just in case, and I put it on. And literally, like 5 minutes after I put it on, my sister sent a group text out, and the guy that murdered my nephew had just got picked up. And it was
11 months.
Like I looked at my wife, like she's like, "What?" Like I know you see a text, but I haven't worn this shirt since the day he was murdered. This is the first time I ever wore this shirt, and I just put on this hat, and it was like
crazy.
And then just when they set the date, the first court date they set was July 16th. My sister texted, like, I don't know if y'all realize, but that was the same day he was taking. Like, what the? Like, how's everything like the same day he was taking was the first date of the court? It was like, it's like, nah, it's all starting. We're just hoping, like, all these are signs, hopefully, that justice is going to happen. But,
man,
like, I felt weird putting that shirt on. And then after it happened, I was like, I looked at my wife, like, I think I feel a little better now. Like, knowing, like, they finally got the guy.
Yeah.
Because the whole time, like, we, like, where is this guy? And he was still at home the whole time, never left. It was just dope. Nobody would come forward and say they saw him do it, so they couldn't arrest him.
Man.
And I guess somebody got picked up on another charge who was there, who knew it, and they finally said something. And it was just,
jeez.
Like I said, like I posted the other day, like it was a rough day. Like I cried. I've been up since 5, nonstop, cried a bunch, just staying busy, trying to keep my mind off the memory of that, just that day. Because my phone, on the 15th, a year ago today, it was us bowling. Then on the 16th, my phone doesn't remember. A year ago today, it was me posting a picture of him because I was like,
man, life is a vapor.
yeah. It was, like I said, you think about it, you hear people say, oh, I just talked to him the other day. He was fine and he passed. But this one was like, he was murdered at 4 o'clock in the morning. We was together till 12:45.
Dang.
So 3 hours and 15 minutes later, and I could when he got the call, when I woke up, my mom walked to my room and told me, because I was staying with my parents, she walked in the room and told me. And the first thing you think is like, if maybe we just said, let's go get something to eat.
Yeah, if you would have jumped in your car
maybe
or something.
like just roll with me or something. Anything that could have avoided it from happening, but it's God's plan.
Yeah.
Who knows? There had been a previous year when he had gotten into a real bad accident and he walked away from that. Like he had a bunch of other instances where he walked away unscathed. Like he had a stroke at 20 and he got out the hospital fine. I was like, maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't want to think that way, but maybe those are like signs of God telling him something he was doing in life. Like for us, we don't see nothing, but
Just don't know.
Yeah, you can't fight God's plan. Like we said, my sister is kind of like not at peace with it, but she said like she understands God's plan. And something, he's telling us something or something, but you just don't know. But it sucks when somebody that's so close to you. That was the first loss that we've had in our family. We had second cousins, third cousins. This is the first one in our family, like one of the youngest kids in our family tree.
Yeah.
It was like
brutal.
Hard.
Yeah, it's brutal. And you just don't know. I mean, God's plan, you may never see it. You might see it in 20 years. You might see it when you get to heaven. You just
never know.
The ripple effects.
Just got to have faith. Mm-hmm. Keep doing what you're doing. But like I said, with the emotion of that fight was dedicated to him. It was like his favorite picture and suit he wore. Like if people ever seen, like I ended up having his prom suit custom made to wear it for my fight. Like exact outfit I had custom made to fit me, and that's why I wore the fight. Had him on my neck. It was like the whole fight was dedicated to him. So it was more than just winning the belt. It was, I know you was big on me winning this belt, and we did it, nephew. Like everything from this whole night is on you. Like this is your outfit. I'm putting homage so everybody can see what you wear. Everybody confident. I'm like, bro, it's the cleanest suit. My nephew's suit. I put it in my size. Like just giving you love on the night, I'll win.
Yeah.
And that was a big moment for me.
Man. Did that winning feeling subside like months afterwards where you hear the story of like Tom Brady winning Super Bowl and not feeling satisfied with it? Did you get a similar feeling afterwards, after that month or 2 months, 3 months?
Have you ever seen an Emmitt Smith commercial back when he won the Super Bowl? Like him lifting weights. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. And so I'm like, Emmitt, you won the championship. Now you can take a break. And he racks the weight. Oh, I can take a break now. Back to work.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it was, literally. Like that night, I enjoyed it. Hung out, everybody celebrating, cheers and this and that. And every night when I'm in fight camp, I have dreams of fighting. Like fighting for the belt. And that night, after I won, I had that same dream. And I woke up like 4 o'clock, like 4 or 5 o'clock. It was still dark. Like son, brother, I'm like, yo, like why am I feel like, I gotta get ready for this fight. And I wiped my ass and I looked, and the belt was sitting on the chair in the corner. I wiped my ass, like, I gotta get back in the train. Wait, we won the belt yesterday. And it's like, well, that's just my mind. Like, it's not over. Like, we got to get right back in.
Yeah.
Get ready for the next one. You know, from being from the hunter to the hunted. It's like, I just got to keep training just as hard. And I got to train hard to keep it.
Yeah. What's that going to look like for you this year? Are you going to move up to heavyweight right away?
No. So, actually, it ain't been announced yet, but the opponent announced it in the media. So, I'll do it first here. October 19th in Saudi Arabia, I'm fighting Yo Romero. So that's what it's supposed to be.
And that's to defend.
That's a defense. It's the first time I said to anybody other than coaches and teammates. But so he posted an interview and people are already starting to tweet it. So October 19th, Saudi Arabia. It was supposed to be Chicago, October 12th. I don't know what happened with that card because I'm from Illinois. But last I called, October 19th, they're going to have us go out to Saudi Arabia in the desert.
That's insane.
That's the first defense. Like I was telling you, I get back from this and then take the family camping, and we driving back to New Jersey. So it's back to fight camp.
Fight camp. And fight camp, I think it's cool for listeners to know. That was fun chatting with you about that at Hunter Games, just realizing how many hours a day you're training. And that's even non-fight camp weeks. Like, you should walk us through, like, what your day-to-day life looks like, not in fight camp and then in fight camp, because it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, so you're right there. It's a reason, like everybody say, why they call you overtime when you hear my schedule? And not everybody train this way. It's just the way I train and the way I live life. When I finish breaking it down, you're like, okay, you see why they call you overtime. So say, for instance, this last 2 weeks, I've been getting up at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get up, do my reading. Sometimes I get my workout before, or I just jump in the truck, got my tractor and stuff loaded. I'll head to the property, work for a few hours, put in food plots, doing all that. I come back, then I'll train, whether it's lifting or drilling. It's like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. I do my recovery, ice bath, sauna, hot tub, stretch, go to PT, come back, eat. From there, I got to do something with the family. Then it's to the gym again by 3:15 or 4:30, or practices at 6. And this is non-fight camp. So this is training twice a day. Do that from 3 to 5 or 4 to 6 or 6 to 8, whatever it is. Come back. Now I got to do my recovery again, stretching, hang out with the family. If I can't sleep, I go to the gym, do some light drilling. I got my own gym behind the house, hitting the bag, working technique. That's a day in life without fight camp.
Yeah.
Now,
when you were in Jersey too, you were doing those like hour-long drives back.
Yeah, so that's fight camp.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to get to. So fight camp, I go to Jersey. So everything was in, the closest gym is 30 minutes. So sometimes I go to Philly, hour and 15. Sometimes I go up to Newark, New Jersey, hour and 30. So we start 5 a.m. I get up, eat my breakfast, 30-minute drive to get to strength and conditioning, 6 to 7 or 7:30. I leave there, get home about 8:15, eat my second breakfast, take my vitamins, relax, stretch for a little bit. Now I look at the clock. It's time to get to the next gym. I got to do mitts or jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is 9:30. Mitts is either 9 or 10 o'clock. So I got to drive there. I do that for an hour, 2 hours, depending on what session it is. Same thing, come home. I got to eat my second meal, stretch, recover, do the ice bath. Now I either got a little time to do it with the family, or the family let me relax, because at 3, I'm either going to another gym to drill, or if I got sparring's going to be later tonight, or I go hit mitts with another coach, which is up in Trenton. That's 45 minutes. Or if it's Wednesday, David Branch want me to come up and do big guy jiu-jitsu, so I leave the house at 8 a.m., get there for 10, practice starts at 10, train till 12, hour and a half back, PT at 1:30, go from 1:30 or from PT, go home, eat. By the time I eat, it's time to leave to the gym. I got like 45 minutes, practice starts. I got a 30-minute drive. Get there, get stretched, and start drilling with my coach one-on-one at 4:15 or 5 o'clock. Finish that, then team practice at 5:30 or 6 or whatever it is. Stay for that. Get home at 8:39 or practices at 7. Get home at 9:30, 10. Eat dinner. Go outside, ice bath, stretch. I still got to watch film.
Yeah.
I got to take the notes. By the time I get into bed, and I still try to do some content stuff in between. By the time I get to bed, it's about 12:30, just for the alarm to go off at 5:30, 6, or 5.
Man.
And just get up and do it again. So it's like,
that's wild.
a lot of hours.
Yeah.
A lot of hours on the road, a lot of hours in the gym.
Not much sleep.
Not much sleep. You try to get a nap in between. Like I get like a little 5-10-minute naps. Like if I know I got quick, like, yo, babe, can you take the kid outside? I just need a 5-minute real quick. So like, all right, let's go outside, guys. Just close my eyes for 5 minutes just to get that little refresh to drive. That's the hardest. Falling asleep on the road, just like,
yeah.
That's a taxing on your body alone. Yeah, you doze off, and so you wake up. Like, oh, yes.
Do you take the family to fight camp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the house in New Jersey, and we got the house in Indy. And my wife used to fight. We met in the gym. So like, she's my nutritionist. I don't need to hire a nutritionist to cook and all that. She knows all about counting calories and the no GMO. She like all that extra stuff. I don't care about all that. No GMO, no all that extra stuff. She talk hippie talk, I call it. But she takes all that, the macros and everything in count. Like when I'm cooking my car, like, you need carbs. You got sparring tomorrow. Here, I want you to have a heavy pasta meal so you be fueled up for sparring. Like, oh, if you don't have sparring, you getting closer to the fight week, I get your weight down. I'm gonna cook you something lighter. You want chicken protein, turkey protein, and venison protein.
Dang.
So she break it down like that. I do, that's my dinners, but breakfast and lunch, I got this Eat Clean meal prep company, Eat Clean Bro. Jamie and his wife Kayla, they killing it out there. They do like caterings for like Carmelo Anthony, all these professional athletes, the whole Jersey Shore crew, all those guys is big in promoting them. So they like one of the biggest meal prep companies out there now. It was just a tri-state area, but now they ship all over the country.
That's sweet.
So yeah, that's big. I get in the fight camp, let them know I'm here.
Yeah.
They give me a code where I order like 14, 16 meals a week for breakfast and lunch. And sometimes I'll do like the second breakfast is that, and I'll make my own breakfast for like eggs and venison. Yeah. Or a bowl of granola with almond milk, just something light so I can get through strength and conditioning and come back and eat like they big breakfast, egg and turkey bacon or
so good.
Yeah, stuff like that. So it's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot to balance. And a lot of guys say you do too much. Like you've been doing this for 11 years. Like David Branch, he tell me all the time, you have to point out you are a true vet. You don't have to go that hard. You can pick and choose your workouts and go light on a lot and have a couple hard days. You don't have to go hard every workout. And like in my mind, it kind of makes sense. Like I say, work harder, not smarter, but or work smarter, not harder. But for me, I've always been the type, you can't replace the hard work.
It's not you.
So I'd rather just push hard and just know I'm getting something beneficial out of it.
Yeah.
Like fight week, cutting weight. Everybody I know they water load and do the Epsom salt bath. But how do you lose your weight? You don't do sauna, you don't do hot tub, nothing? Like I work out. Like you lose 30 pounds a week working out the whole week. Like, bro, why don't you just take it easy on your body? Like, and I can feel it come fight night. Like, I'll be kind of sluggish, but I just feel in my head I'm getting more out of going over the stuff repetitively. So when I get into the fight, it's second nature other than just sitting in the hot tub or in the water filled with Epsom salt bath and letting the water just pull out of me. Yeah. And not really challenging my brain. They say you might feel better. Who knows? I might try it. I'm not going to say I never will, but right now, in my mind, the way I do it, I feel like I'm getting something out of every workout.
Stick with what works.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, don't fix it if it ain't broken. Yeah. Like I always say, next fight, I'll try the Epsom salt bath. But then it's like every fight is an important fight to me. So I don't want to do Epsom salt bath and I feel like trash. And then it's like, now I feel bad on fight night. I'd rather stick to what I know is going to keep me feeling the way I've always felt throughout my career.
How early will you have to show up to Saudi Arabia?
They usually have you come out the week of. They have me fly like Sunday and get there by Monday. You got the whole week, but I think this time I'm gonna leave 2 weeks early.
Adapt a little better.
Yeah. Try to find 2 teammates and 1 coach that can go out there with me, and we can get some training while we out there, acclimate. So I guess it's super hot, get used to the humidity and the heat, the time change and all that. Get the whole clock reset. That's another reason why we're going out to Jersey so early. Usually I go 9 weeks. I'm going 12 weeks. So I got those weeks of training and can leave early and still
put
get
it on
the
the
full
end.
camp.
Yeah. Crazy. That's going to be awesome. And then when would you move up to heavyweight if you did?
I don't know. Got to see. Like I said, after I beat nobody else in line, like it's like, oh, we got to wait to see who earns themselves the next shot. Then it's like, well, why there's nobody here? I go up and stay busy. Yeah. So like the way is you see these guys that win belts, and right away, I want to go 2 division champ right away. I want to go up to the next division. Well, if it's people in line that earn a shot, I'm gonna give you that shot before I just disappear from the division. But if there's nobody there and I'm waiting, let me stay busy. Yeah. At that point, it's not even just going up to fight for the heavyweight belt. It's just to go to fight Vadim. Yeah. Like I said it before I got the title fight. Like we both were just sitting in limbo. What was next? I said, if we don't know what's next, before they sold the company to PFL, I was like, let me go up and fight Vadim heavyweight. It could be a regular 3-bout fight. I don't care. I just want to fight him again. I'll be his first fight at heavyweight. It's like, I'm just want to get my hands back on. That's just one I got to get.
No, it's just God's timing.
Yeah, just wait.
Just got to wait.
Who knows? Like I said, everything's God's plan. Something might happen when God say, I might be done fighting. I don't get that chance. It's just...
Never know.
You never know. It could have just been God using that as fuel for me to keep training hard, and the moment came where it's time for me to hang it up. Yeah. Wishful thinking. We hope we can get it done, but...
Yeah. Man, you got a lot going on, and you're still doing a ton of hunting. You were just in Idaho.
Yeah, try to do as much as I can, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. How'd the bear hunt in Idaho go?
It went very uneventful. It was weird. It was a guy, and like I've seen his videos, he's a Switchback Outdoors, Ross Sever. Ross was sick, yeah. Like
he's awesome.
Like, yeah, he's killing them all the time. He said for the first time in 14 years, not only did he not kill a bear, but he hadn't even seen a bear.
What? In Idaho?
He got a buddy who kills him all the time. He said this season hasn't been as eventful. I think he got 3. He's also hunting a lot more than Ross this year. Ross got a lot of stuff going on with his channel and everything, traveling. But he said it's just, even his wife was like, he's the whole time knowing you was coming, he's been kind of very worried because it's been the slowest season. Like trail cam pictures, they don't have like no intel. You just like we go and we see like 5 bear come in within the first hour sitting there. He said we've been out 7, 8 times and we haven't seen a bear this year. It's not on kill. We haven't seen anything. So it's just like I told him, but it's hunting.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, bro, I feel bad. Like, for what? It's hunting. If it was any easier, it'd be called grocery shopping. Like, that's the whole point. You buy a tag in hopes to get some. Hopefully you got the game plan right. Hopefully you know where they are. It's just this year we didn't know where they were.
It was probably cool for you to be in the mountains.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It was definitely cool to go out.
So different.
And see, like, to learn, like, his buddy. They can go into public land, they get tags, and they can harvest trees, like for firewood, and went up and helped them cut the trees and load.
Yeah.
Like just learning different ways. The bears, like, they was telling me how such and such work. When there, you hunt over bait and how it works. It's just different, a different world, but it's interesting. Like I said, I like learning.
Yeah.
Anything I don't know, I'm interested in picking up, asking questions. How often do this? So would they come that way? How does it work? Do they wind, thermals? Well, we hitting this hill and it's going down. You got the creek. Usually the creek take your scent when you're hunting. Does it still work with thermals and bear hunting? Does the water take our scent away? And like just picking their brains and learning. So it wasn't like just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I was still enjoying myself.
Was that an archery hunt?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They just kept telling me like, yo, you sure you don't do it with a gun? Like, nope, doing it with a rifle or with a bow.
Yeah.
Because I went to Canada the first time, Vancouver Island. I was supposed to do that one with the bow. Ended up doing it with a rifle because my dad broke my bow. Like, I'm going to redeem myself. It's like, well, your tag is still good in the fall. Like, all right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back in the fall after my fight. Got all the way till November, so I'm going to come back and hopefully I get it that week. Redeem myself.
How'd your dad break your bow?
So he had just had, or he hadn't had shoulder surgery yet, but his shoulders was like going out. He was getting older at the time. And he was doing it with a rifle. And I had a Matthew at the time. I had a Matthews Howland 32, turned up to like 72 pounds, turned all the way down with the miles, whatever. And I knew for me, like it was tough at the beginning pulling back.
Yeah.
And my dad hadn't shot a bow in forever. I knew his shoulders was back. Like, dude, you can't pull my bow back. I can't shoot your bow. I can pull your bow back. You can't pull my bow back. Don't touch my bow. So what was it? Wednesday morning, we eat breakfast. I see him get up. I see him go outside, and I got my bow in the case out on the porch. And I just knew. Like, he's going out there to try to pull my bow back. I know. I got up to go catch, like, pull my bow down. Like, I told you I could watch. And he pulls it back. And he got an arrow. He knows better than drop. He got it back. Like, see, told you. And his shoulder is bad. His front shoulder. And it goes out. And drops the ground. I was like, let it go right into the ground. And the arrow bounced back. And the broadhead cut the string. Since it hit the ground and like it was so much compression, the cams, since it didn't go, the cams bent.
No way.
I was like, dude, I told you couldn't shoot my dad. I thought I had it back. Like, I told you couldn't shoot.
That's insane.
So, yeah.
Dang.
Yep, that's my daddy. Can't tell him nothing.
He's going for it.
Yeah, he like I said, when he got up from the table all fast, I knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
I stopped eating and slid back. Let me go catch this dude, and it was too late.
That's what my dad would do. He'd do the exact same thing.
It's crazy. Like our fathers. Like you can't tell them anything. It was like we hunted our whole life, and we got into deer hunting together, and it was things he showed me. But it's like now, like I travel and hunt with like some of the top guys that whitetail hunt and ask questions and pick their brains. Like I come back and try to tell him something. You can't tell me nothing, but I taught you how to hunt. Like if you taught me how to hunt, how come I didn't know where the scrape was? How come I didn't know where the rub was? None of this stuff. Like what are you talking about? Like you didn't know. We learned our own. We learned on our own just in the field, and you showed me what you picked up.
Yeah,
I'm trying to bring it back to you. Every time you can't tell me. I know what I'm doing. Like, okay. Then we go to our property and. Him and his buddies be out there. They won't shoot nothing, and they leave, and I go and I kill them. How you get one? Like I already told you. First of all, our property ain't that big to be bringing a whole party of people down.
Yeah.
2, I told you where they're coming from every time, so you have to stay quiet, and you can't go to that blind early. You was in the blind by like 12 o'clock. Your buddies wearing cologne. They bedding right over there with the wind going that way. Like they're gonna catch you.
Yeah, come on, man.
Like yeah, like you can't tell me nothing. Like okay, that's why you ain't killing nothing.
Just stubborn.
Yeah, just I tell my wife all the time. Like I would love to be able to hunt on my dad. Like, I would love him to be my hunting buddy, or I can call him. We can meet up at properties and hunt together.
Yeah.
But I can't because every time it's always like an argument. I try to give him advice, and like, he gonna ruin hunt for both of us. So I hunt and then call him after and let him know. So.
And then this year, you'll probably have to hunt after Saudi Arabia, huh?
Mm-hmm. What happened last year, too?
Yeah.
Last year, I fought October 18th, and then I went back to Jersey, finished there till Halloween, then went back and tagged out November 9th in Indiana. So.
Yeah, you shot a good one last year, didn't you?
Yeah. Big old 15-point.
Yeah.
Biggest deer I ever seen. Crazy looking. Big old body like a horse.
Man.
And I killed one in Saskatchewan. I thought that was the biggest, but this one, big old farm buck. Even the farmer stuff, we've on this property. The farmer was a kid I coached in college, him and his dad, and now he's 20 or 33. I seen him yesterday. And he still said that was probably the biggest I've ever seen in my life. We own this farm my whole life. Like I've
giant
never, like just a huge. Like I've never seen that buck before. That was the first time I ever seen it, and that was the biggest one I ever seen in this area. Like,
dang, that's awesome.
Yeah,
when those moments happen, it's so cool.
Crazy. It happens so fast.
Comes out of nowhere.
So fast. Like I wasn't even in the tree good. Like I'm just in the tree doing my interview on my GoPro. I'm setting up, and I heard brr. And I'm thinking like, ain't no way it's a grunt. Like I'm making too much noise. And I was sitting here, and dope busts out, and it runs up behind me. I'm like, oh shit, she's about to blow me. She's gonna catch my scent. And before she got behind me, you hear, roar, roar, and that big old buck come brushing through the brush in front of me. Like, oh. And I look at my, that's the one on the trail camera. Like, pull my bow up the tree. I haven't even had my
bow wasn't even in the
I'm
tree?
not even set up yet. Like, I turn the camera off. I'm like, I gotta turn the camera back on. He comes the steps 20 yards, right? They're looking at the doe, and the doe looking at me stomping, but she can't see me. I'm in between like 3 trees. He's looking at her, and he started walking his way up, and he walks right past this tree that fell where the brush was open, just right behind the shoulder. Like about 30 yards and was over with.
So fast.
Oh, quick. Like I literally just talked to the hunter or the farmer at the barn, rode my e-bike down the cut corn, got to the drop and got up. Before, like I said, I still had my my lifeline hook. I had my tether hook. My lifeline was still hooked to the tree because I hadn't got set and got shot. Like I had my pack on. Everything was still on. The camera wasn't set. I didn't get it on camera, but I got the GoPro footage on me.
Yeah.
But it was like everything happened within like 7 minutes. Like I did my interview, which is 2 minutes long. He came, got the shot, called the farmer, and I was like, he's like, yeah,
you're
what's
like,
up?
I'm done.
Yeah, he's like, what's up? Like, I'm done. Bring your truck. I'm like, bring the range. He's like, okay, be on my way out. Like
that is insane.
Yeah. Shot, what was like 3:35 I shot, or 3:15 I shot, and we was down on the ground 3:35. I had already tore out a tree and everything. Like, this is ridiculous. Wish every hunt was this fast.
Yeah. And you've been filming your own stuff for a long time now?
About 5 years.
Yeah. And you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking. Like I said, I didn't get the shot on camera. And guys like, oh, I can't shoot it because it wasn't on camera. Hell with that. I'm shooting a deer. Because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get from to come back out. So
yeah.
I'm going to take that chance of not getting them on camera. Sorry, guys, on camera, but you got the B-roll of me shooting. It's like, and I even have some I've shot without any footage. It's just GoPro happened to die, and I couldn't get them to stop on camera. It's like, I'm not going to wait.
It's limited opportunities.
Yeah. And I'm not like a type, I'm only going to shoot big bucks. And I shoot more does than anything. And people are like, and I post a video, you kids know the doe, and people like you complain about why the deer numbers are down. Like, first of all, I don't never complain about deer numbers being down. Second of all, 2 backstraps is better than no backstraps. So, like, yes, if I can get 5 does in the buck, I'm going to fill my doe tags if I have to. Get the buck. Only time I won't shoot a doe is in the rut because I know they're carrying scent.
Yeah.
But other than that, a doe come out, it could be 30 minutes in the tree. Big doe coming, big old name dog. Look, make sure none of the other ones I seen or anything bigger. Like, all right, like it's over.
Meat's
cool with
so
that.
good.
Meat is great.
Yeah.
2 freezers for I got a freezer in Jersey. Open it up and meat just falls out. They got another chest in Indiana or in Jersey. Freezer in Indiana and a chest in Jersey, and they both just feel like
venison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't got no complaints.
Yeah.
I'm shoot them all day. It's legal. I got a tag. I'm shooting them.
Best protein.
That's it.
That's awesome. Well, man, I thank you so much for coming out. It's been a long time coming. Since Hunter Games, I wanted to get you out to see the lab and see the gym and do a podcast, and we finally made it happen. And I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate you making the trip with everything you got going on, fighting, family. And I know it's Montana's a long ways from Indiana, and I know you got a big trip out and back, so it means a lot, man.
Oh, it probably was worth it. It was fun. Like I told Yeah, a guy that was setting stuff up. I was like, everybody was like, "Oh, you only going out for a day?" Because he said that's a quick trip for a day. Like, they got such things like Skype interviews and stuff like, yeah, but it's different to get it in person.
It's different.
Like, I want to get out there and do it the in-person feel, face-to-face, see what they got. Everything was going on there. Like I said, we met 2 years ago at the 6 Hour Hunter Games.
Yeah.
And we talked about it. And it's like better late than never.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we are. We got it done. I seen the place, beautiful place you got. Podcast setup is awesome. Pick the brains of your editors and learn. And then to do the podcast, it was more than just a one-stop shop. It killed multiple birds in one stone. It introduced me to different people and networking. That's what life is about. You can only do so much online.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much better in person.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks, Corey, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What a powerful conversation with Corey Anderson. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Remember, each and every episode, we're looking for those tools that'll change our life. We're looking for those golden nuggets. The huge golden nugget for me that I want you guys to remember out of this episode is Corey talked about calling himself out on his own foul in that fight, which cost him $1 million check. So he called himself out, which cost him $1 million when no one else noticed. The ref didn't even notice that he had made that foul, but he knew in his own heart, in his own character, that that wasn't a true win. And so he let the ref know. That cost him $1 million on a technicality, but it was still the right decision for him. When I talked to him about that the first time when I first met him, he was like, "Look, man, I couldn't have gone back to the kids I coach in wrestling knowing that I won that fight. I won that $1 million on a foul. I wouldn't have been able to coach them. I wouldn't have been able to look them in the eye knowing I won by cheating." What a strong character statement. What an admirable way to live. I'm very impressed with Corey's character and really enjoyed that golden nugget that the things we do and how we do them are more important than this fame, than these accolades. And he really stands by that principle. What a great conversation. If you want to learn more about Corey, definitely check him out on Instagram at Outdoors with Overtime. Make sure you check out all of these episodes on the Mountain Tough YouTube channel at Mountain Tough Fitness. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Mountain Tough Podcast. We'll see you next week.